because my friends were on top of this early and were warning me. But Draymond Green had a 30th birthday party. We all loved him, and we wanted to show him. So we took a private jet down at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. We had a dinner in LA. We went to his birthday party, and the jet left again at maybe 1 a.m. So I was back home by 3. But other than that, March 8th, I was locked in. I mean, I the most I did in 88 days is I went 2 blocks away from the house. And even then I felt like, so, the lockdown, I didn't anticipate that I'd be staying in place as much as I did. I didn't anticipate that I would play as much poker. I literally played poker at least 6 days a week. And I'm a guy that plays once every 10 days with my group of friends. And actually I did really well. I won a lot of money, and I joined another advisory board for a company called Prize Picks. And I think that's my 11th advisory board. Some of my companies, it's been fun to watch them, kind of flourish. Not everything goes wrong during a pandemic. Some companies do well. And one of them is Endgame Talent Agency, which, just keeps getting new customers, and we're growing, and it's crazy. Yeah. And so spent some time talking to the company founders that, that I'm on the advisory board of. And so I'm surprisingly busy. And so I can't really say that I've been bored, And then last week, finally, I went over to my best friend's house, Chamath Palihapitiya, and then I went to Cabo, flew down to Cabo for 4 days and flew back. But we were on my friend's jet. So, and then I've been locked in for the last 8 days, back and stay in place.
It certainly is strange times for everybody, and obviously everybody was hoping that the World Series was still going to take place. Even though it's not your fault, is this the first World Series or the potential World Series that you would have missed since you were old enough to play?
Yes, I have not missed a series. I think I missed one World Series of Poker, Europe. And that was in 2018. I just told the guys, I said, I'm not going back. You should go every other year. And I was trying to make a point. I missed it. So I don't miss World Series of Poker ever. I don't miss World Series of Poker Europe ever. And I don't plan on it. So now, of course, today, big news. They just announced that, they're going to have 85 bracelet events.
It's enormous.
From July, online events from July 1st. So I just called the president of the Aria, Steve Zanella, and he tells me that, we're in pretty good shape at the Aria. We're really going to be very, safety minded. Yeah. And then, reading some articles about it, it seems like MGM has the best protocols for dealing with COVID. And of course, Wynn's up there with them. But I mean, of all the casinos, we're the best. And so the Aria, so I feel very safe there. So July 1st, I'll be staying at the Aria for a month. If they open, they might open the 4th of July. And looking forward, I mean, there's one event per day. So, I think it's, I'm going to be opening up a little bit going down there. And but I do feel like they're taking all the precautions at the Aria.
Yeah, well, we have seen pictures over the last probably 3 or 4 days about Las Vegas opening up slowly but surely. Things trying to get back to normal as normal can be. It is strange times for everybody. But I'm just going to whiz you back. I'm just going to whiz you back to 1989 when you actually went like that. And then you went like that. And
I saw that picture.
And it's a clip. If you love the game, it's a clip that you watch over and over again. Obviously, we win it. If we'd have come second, if we'd have finished second to Johnny Chen, who won it the 2 previous years, do you think your career would have been a little bit different, or was this the path anyway?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair question. I mean, that final hand, he had ace-7 of spades. I had 2 black nines, but there was a hand before that, where I had ace-10 against 2 10s. And I was lucky, and 2 deuces. I mean, it was a 2-way knockout to go from 4-handed to 2-handed. And if I lose that.
Afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. It's been ages.
Good afternoon. Yeah, it seems like it has. It seems like it's been a long time.
It's been 3 days. 3 days. We wandered around London on Monday. We wandered around London on Tuesday, and we're now back at work on Wednesday. And we've got the Six Max. Welcome, one and all. We've also got guest comms, Rick Triggs coming up to start. We're going to have half an hour with Jay, then half an hour with me, and then we've got Jamie and Katie doing the Six Max, and then me and Jay will probably finish off the Six Max, because we reckon about, 3.5 hours?
Yeah, 3.5, 4. Coming back at 800, 1600. There's about 500k in private play. So yeah, we reckon about 4 hours or so.
Excellent. Who have we got, Jay? Tell us. There was one missing at the minute because he's just washing his face because he's sprinted. He's sprinted to the to the room. Who have we got, Jay? Who have we got?
So in one is the man that's not in the picture yet. That's going to be Sven McDermott. He is our short stack with 28,800. In 2 is PLO champion earlier on this week in the high roller, Paul Rigg, 39,400. In 3 is our chip leader, Robert Hallworth, 193,400. 4, Kevin Warlow, 29,900. 5 is Bradley Harwood, 174,200. And in 6 is Phil Green, 44,500.
We are ready. Let us do it. First time we've done it with a lot of variation in the last few months, few weeks.
Jumped in.
Here's Sven. Get yourself in. We've done cash.
Yep.
We've done the NPL playoff.
Yep.
We've done the final day of a midi.
Yep.
All different.
Done a 1k.
All well received. We've done the 1k. We've had the ticks. We're now ready for the final week of 2021, and it's so nice that everybody has said so many nice things regarding the streams and loving the cash, loving the different variations, loving that we're all back. We've had a lot of fun, and we are ready to rock and roll with the Six Max, because obviously don't forget these guys, and we've got the names. I'll run through the names of the online names as well for the players that are playing. This was played online, so how are these guys, if they predominantly play online, how are these going to adapt to playing live and playing it a lot slower?
I think a lot of them, from faces and that, a lot of them do play live as well. Tower Bradley, who's one of our chip leaders at this table, first I've seen him all year, so maybe he's more based online. Obviously you're going to get less hands dealt to you, but I think it'd be pretty normal, Tower. I think all these players, all 6 of them, got good resumes, very competent, so it's going to be an interesting watch.
If you want to know the name, quickly run through the names before the man starts. So we've got Rick Trigg coming in very, very shortly. Rob Allworth in seat number 4, seat number 3 as it is. He's Jam Sandwich online. Rob wasn't Rob the bubble in the 1K?
In the no, he's the bubble in the playoff.
Oh, bubble in for the seats, for the 5K seats. Oh my days. Bradley Harwood is Pro Bees. Rob Allworth is Jam Sandwich, by the way. Not like that, Jam Sandwich. Pro Beers is Bradley Harwood. Phil Green is ABC Geriatric. Paul Rigg is Just Lucky. Well, he's already got himself a trophy this week as Riggy. And he got himself a 10k package. So he's certainly not just lucky. Atlantis is Kevin Warlow and Ukle Bookle. Is that Ookie Bookie or Ukle Bookle? Ukle Bookle, Sven McDermott. So incoming for the first half an hour with Jay, and then Jay's going to jump out and I'll come back in with Mr. Rick Trigg, one of the greatest online players in Britain. So here he comes. Trigg's going to jump in for the first half an hour. He's just there looking. I tell you what, just stand behind us, son. Just look at this. He's made efforts. He's going for the shave later. He's looking glam. This lad's going to join us for the first half an hour, and then Jay's going to depart. I'm going to sit in that table while Rick still sits in this one. I'll sit in 30. Over to this guy. He's got the buttons, and enjoy the Six Max.
Here he is.
How are we doing?
All good, all good. Get yourself over. Get in shot.
Looking forward to this. I've not played all week. I've got withdrawal symptoms, so looking forward to seeing a bit of action. Do you know any of these players personally?
Well, Riggy's the only one personally. Everyone else I know of, but don't know him on a personal level. But it's going to be a good one.
Phil Green, ABC Geriatric. He won a G-Coupe series.
Yeah.
I think it might have been back on the old software, the market gaming.
Yeah.
So he got like a 15k package or 10k package
and
played a few of the mains on the back of it. So I know Phil a bit from there. Sven does a lot of streaming, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And obviously Riggy's just a legend, local UK legend.
Yeah.
Hallworth in seat 3, I played with in Luton in the main event. He went pretty deep in that. And the other two gentlemen I just met today. So.
Yeah, Bradley final tabled the mini earlier on in the week. He was chip leader going into that. I'm not sure where he finished, but
Bradley in the hood?
Yeah, in the hoodie.
Yeah.
In the hoodie. So that's who we got, and we're off. We get our faces off, and hopefully we got some action. Starting 800, 1600, the blinds. 40-minute clock for these guys. I love six-match trick. Really good form of poker. I love that. Yeah,
I like the concept of an online day, and then the winners come back. So when the winners come back, you know you're guaranteed a decent payout. And you can pay for your hotels and stuff. And it's London, so it's not cheap all the time.
Yeah, 5 figures up top in this one, just over 10 grand. We will get a prize tick up very shortly across the bottom of your screen, guys, so you know what they're playing for. Riggy gonna be straight into the action in the small here with a 10-9 suited.
He'll be looking for the other two cards. Predominantly DC dealer's choice and PLO player. I think he's said a lot of times he thinks Hold'em's his worst game. He's been bashing up the dealer's choice cash games for years.
So Rob going to come straight in with aggression, just over 3x after Riggy completes in the small with a 10-9 suited.
I mean, he's really going for it if he's choosing a hand like this, isn't he? He's probably trying to pressure Riggy as 4th out of 60 chips.
Yeah.
Use a bit of ICM, but...
Yeah, and this is going to go Rob's way if he continues the aggression.
Small bet will do, won't it? 2.5, 3k. 3k, yeah, gets it done.
Yeah, that is Sven Call's Tango on YouTube in seat 1. Who are we thinking is going to win this trig?
I am going to go for the guy who just 3-bet the 3-deuce off.
Yeah.
Because I think he's obviously his MO now. He's just to run them over.
Yeah.
So I think he'll probably
with the chip
he'll probably
lead.
win it, or he'll he might blow up and end up in 5th. So I'd go for, is it Rob? Yeah. Rob Hallworth. Yeah, I'm going to go for Rob. I'd like Riggy to win it because we're good friends, but he's had a good week anyway.
Yeah, he's a 10k package, 37k winning the PLO. Been a very good week for
Mad as a wasp.
Riggy.
How you doing, buddy?
Afternoon, Border Collies tuned in. Afternoon, Dan Gormley says looking slick trig. Span,
Thanks,
good afternoon. Says the same, looking smart.
Thank you very much. Phil's coming for an open with the ace-8 hearts. The pay jumps aren't massive to start with, are they? So with the 3-deuce, I'd like his idea, but I probably wouldn't go that wide because the pay jump from 6th to 5th isn't massive compared to obviously 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Yeah. So I don't think people are going to be that ICM conscious that they're going to worry about busting 6th if they're one of the shorties.
Yeah, there's the stacks there. So you can see Rob and Brad with all the chips.
Nathan's an iron. Nathan, you alright, mate? Asking for the payouts. And we know it's 10,000 odd for the winner, isn't it?
Yeah.
2,600 minimum cash, is it?
Yeah, it's around that, yeah. Yeah, we will get the payouts going across the bottom of the screen, as we usually do very shortly. You don't know, PK might have put them in already. It's usually that on the ball, but we'll see now. There.
Macapaka, Chris, how you doing, mate? All right. Rob is jam sandwich, isn't he? Yeah. I always see him on the streets and in the online games. So Rob's intentions are pretty clear, and he's just trying to try and steamroll the table. So that's quite an interesting dynamic to start on.
Well, two big stacks here. Rob opening 6-5 off, and Brad going to defend the Jack 5. nice flop for Rob here in terms of range. So
another smart tiny bet will do on this board.
Yeah. Started well.
When you see you play defending a hand like Jack 5 off, you kind of assume they're competent, because a lot of players haven't got the confidence to play post flop, will just fold those hands, you know. So it looks like he's a competent player just from knowing that he's defended that hand, even though I don't know if he should defend it.
Afternoon Talamir, rooting for Sven. And a big hello from North Cyprus from Mehmet. Thanks for tuning in.
Busy day.
Yeah, we've got plenty going on today. Plenty going on. This is just the starter.
Just a taste, appetizer for later. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. So Riggy's still going to be coming in with opens like this, where you could argue for a fold here, knowing how aggressive Rob's going to be on your direct left. Brad's definitely going to play. I'd probably lean towards just a call here.
Yeah, against Riggy's stack size.
It depends on his perception of the big blind Phil. If he doesn't think Phil's going to be squeezing a lot of spots, I think call's definitely the best. And obviously 10-9 suited, you're going to get 4-bet jammed on a lot by Riggy, and you want to see a flop with your hand like this. A lot of dry boards, aren't
there? Yeah.
So Riggy can decide to
go really small on this one, yeah. Don't have to go large on King 8 Deuce Rainbow.
And then we're going to see a peel, maybe with the backdoor flush draw and the 8. I think we've definitely seen. I don't think he's going to be folding. It's just a bit awkward stack size, isn't it?
Yeah. Just because of what Riggy's playing and what Riggy's got behind. But I've got a lovely float candidate here. It looks like he's reaching for raising chips, Trig.
Yeah.
And does
don't mind
raise
this at all. I mean, if Riggy puts it in, then all you've got is a backdoor draw anyway. You've not got massive equity in the pot with your hand, so I think that's a nice play.
Yeah, fair play, Bradley. Nice little pick up with the 10-9 suited. We're going to get the payouts on very shortly, Spenny. We'll get a little ticker going across the bottom so you know what everyone's playing for.
Judging how the first few minutes have gone, I think it's probably highly likely you're going to see these two guys heads up with the chips.
Yep, yeah. Dan Gormley asked for the line tomorrow for the 2K. I think I'm going to go with 430. 430.
387 total entries, I think. The high roll has been amazing, hasn't it?
Yeah,
110 so far.
118, I think.
118 so
118.
far.
300 grand, over 300 grand in the prize pool for the high roller, and you still got day two buy-ins.
Day two buy-ins, yeah. It's amazing. And there's a 300 bounty tonight as well.
Yes.
150 quid bounty, isn't it? And 150 quid in the pool, so that'll get a lot of runners as well. So Rob's taking another hand down there. I think so far, Rob and Brad are the only guys who've won a pot, aren't they? So far.
Yep.
Rob's won the majority and Brad's won a couple.
What's your plan for the rest of the week, Trig? You playing
we're doing a lot of kind of work, so we're introducing the qualifiers, me, Katie and Jamie, and then we're going to play on Friday.
Yep.
I had to skip the high roller yesterday, but sometimes you just got to work like you
know.
You've got to do your bit, you know. But I still met a lot of people I've not seen for a long time, so I had a couple of beers last night with them all, and it was a good laugh. Got a couple of bits of action in the high roller, so keep me interested.
Yeah, so this is how wide Bradley is coming with this strategy. He's willing to open the 9-3 suited.
Whenever Rob folds, Brad's going to open any two near enough, and
he's actually got a really nice seat, Bradley, as well.
Yeah.
Two to Rob's left, opening into 3 short stacks.
He's decided to rip. I don't mind this, knowing how light Brad's going to be. Usually, he'd probably just want to peel this hand. Oh, he's in the small blind. Okay, I thought it was the big blind. Sorry, yeah. That's Sven understanding that he's going to be so wide there, just with the chip stacks, and so he's made a good exploitable jam there. Jim's put the payouts on the bottom.
Cheers, Jim. Thank you very much.
Tango fam, how deep are we into this? How many players started this online? We had the first day online.
Yeah, but this is the FT, so it's played online, and we're coming back for the final table. So these are the final 6 that have made their way here to play live. Was an online event to start, and then the FT coming back.
It's 40-minute clock, isn't it?
Yes, 40-minute clock.
And
so
they're paying a
plenty
small
of play.
blind as the big blind ante. They're not paying a full big blind ante because it's only short-handed. Wow, Phil made a pretty tight fold there. Jack Queen Queen Jack of clubs he folded there to an open from Brad. I can understand why he's done it because he's got 2 short stacks behind him.
So 2 big stacks going to be going at it with the same hand.
Now you might see a check back here from Brad, just because they've both got so many chips, and you can put some king X in your check back range. But he's going head to fire.
Yeah, either way, like Trig said, perfectly fine.
Tiny bet. Now this could go raise to 4.5-ish, or could just go call. If you see bet any bigger, you'd see a call 100%.
Yeah.
But with it being so small, the bet, this has gone 5.1. I think this is fine. And got a call.
So complete brick turn. So Rob now with a better lead, opts to check this one.
Don't mind this at all. I think another bet or a check's fine. This is where you might see a bit of pot control from both of them, and then knowing that they can both either bet the river, or in Brad's position, you could just call any bet on the river if you check back, but he's deciding to have a little bet, which is obviously fine.
Looks like he's gone really small as well, Trig, hasn't even touched the 5k.
Is it 3.5k, yeah. I'd prefer probably to check back and then fire a big bet on the river than do this, because is he going to bet again, or is he just bet that the size just to check it back?
He's probably going to go value again here, I think, Trig, especially Rob defending out the big blind, going to have all the king X suited.
Yeah, it's gone call. It's a weird situation when the big blind check raises, then checks the turn and calls a small bet, because with the check raise it's usually polarised towards nothing, but once he calls the turn bet, it can't be nothing, so you're always a bit wary in Brad's spot to bet the river in case you have to face a big check raise. But yeah, I think nicely played by both. But you could also see that they respect each other's game a bit there in that part, and they don't really obviously want to clash massively. But any info on seat 4? I think he's from Birmingham way. We actually we all sat down for a cup of tea earlier when we had a meet and greet. So they've all been getting on well and having a chat. Sven was a bit late, that's why the stream's a bit late. He was told it was 2 o'clock, so he was sprinting to get there, sweating. But they've all been well acquainted, so we've all had a chat. They're all getting on well, which was good. But no, I don't really know much about seat 4 apart from he doesn't play full time, and he's had a couple of results in the past, and he's from Birmingham, Walsall way, I think. Sven was still up at 7. Vitor says. Vitor, great horse that was. You remember Vitor?
No,
Willie Mullins is, brilliant horse. Chaser, proper chaser. It was one of the ones. Did you hear the? Hold on, sorry. Here we go. There's a bit of action. I'll tell the story.
Should be thought just snap far from Sven, just ruggy shoving.
Do you remember the day at Cheltenham when 4 of them Willie Mullins horses were gambled? They were like 6-4, even money 4-6, and the last one was Annie Power.
I can't remember.
It saved the fall at the last fence. The last flight of hurdles saved the bookies millions and millions, because everyone had put them in Yankees and Ackers, and I was there that day. And when Annie Power fell, you could hear a pin drop. It was like, it was really weird atmosphere after. Yeah, I was there too. Yeah, but I just booked in for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the festival next year.
Do you go every year, Trig?
Yeah, Yeah. We used to do the whole 4 days, but it was just drinking with the paddies all night. It's just too much.
I can imagine.
It's too much revelry. They have the live music in the bars, the Irish music, and it's so good. But getting older, it's just a bit too heavy. Yeah, Maccapacker had them in the Aria. Yeah, Tuesday's the best day. Friday's the worst day because it's the busiest and you can't move. But luckily, my friends who are businessmen have treated me to hospitality for 3 days, so I don't have to queue up for a drink or a beer.
So Rob opening button 7-5 off into the other big stacks, big blind, Bradley. And this one's going to go Rob's way. Don't need to go big on this board. Like quarter pot's fine.
Yeah. Look, even on this everyone's
saying they lost money.
Everyone's saying
I'm probably too young.
Yeah, they said that. I think the explanation was that there was a shadow on the hurdle, and the horse saw the shadow and thought that was the hurdle, and Annie Power took off like about 12 foot away from the fence and just jumped and fell on top of it and crumpled up, absolutely cruising.
Oh.
Yeah, but so we've booked there's a little pub on the race course, Horse and Groom I think it's called, and it's once you've paid your money it's free drinks. It's got a pool table, a jukebox, and the door opens straight out into the 2 furlong marker. Then it's table service, so it's just better than queuing up 10 minutes for a wee and waiting for the bar in a queue of 30 thirsty lads. Yeah, I backed Goshen when it fell in the Triumph. Yeah. So Rob's opened and Phil's defended.
Yes.
And this is going to go check, bet, fold, I imagine. Oh, well, check back, it's fine. Probably have a chunky bet now, he's checked back the flop. Oh, Phil's decided to lead with his deuce. Not sure if this is a play that the solvers had approved, but now I imagine it's going to go check, bet, and then Phil's going to decide. Since there's 2 flush draws missed, it's conceivable his deuce could be good some of the time here.
Yep.
But I imagine after how it's been played, I think Rob's going to have to go big, or should go big, because of the flush draws missing. So he's got a lot of bluffs in his range now with 2 flush draws missing. So when you've got the value, you've got to size it big. So Rob's gone for only 5.8, a little bet.
Snap fold with those deuce.
Yeah, I'd have preferred to see a bigger bet there, just because if you're bluffing there, you're not going to bet 5.3. You're going to have to bet big, so you mix that with your value, and you bet big with your value.
There we are, guys. Prizes coming along the bottom for you. 51 entries.
Did you play this?
No, I didn't.
No, I played this for about 2 levels. What? Riggy's rocking the Peaky Blinders look today.
Lucky hat.
Yeah, Yorkshireman, Yorkshire flat cap. I'll be dusting mine off in March down the Cotswolds. Get me a nice tweed jacket on. Rob's open again. Sven's going to defend, I imagine. Or does he think he's opening that wide?
Yeah, he's thinking about potentially using this ace and incorporating it into a shove.
You?
No, I don't mind it at all, especially if Rob's opening as much as we perceive him to be. And I think Sven very close with Kevin stack wise, but he just opts to let it go. Yeah, it was 4,500. Thomas.
The overlay. Yeah, Rob's been really aggro. Yeah, he's definitely set his stall out. I'm surprised they didn't defend at least there with ace-6, aren't you? If you don't decide to jam
I'm
it,
surprised
I think you should just defend. If Rob's opening pretty wide and you flop an ace, there's a good chance he's going to go bet jam on you, and you sat there with a good top pair that's disguised. So Sven was streaming till 7 in the morning this morning.
Was he really?
Listen, you've got to love the game. You've got to love the game to be doing that. Back in the day when I was chasing the leaderboard on one site, I was playing from midday till 3 a.m. registering everything from $1 to whatever the biggest tournament was. So I needed leaderboard points, and I was 35 tabling, stacking the tables.
35.
I was on a diet of Red Bull and Dominoes for like 2 months. I ended up getting 4th in the leaderboard and put 3 stone on in 3 months.
What a diet!
3 stone, 3 months. Remember the documentary 2 months, 2 million or something? Mine was 3 months, 3 stone. Why is 3rd and 4th the same payout?
Yeah, I just saw it on the ticket, guys. So we're going to get that rectified for you. It's all right. Yeah, 3rd's 4.5k, 4th is 3.3k. But we'll get that rectified very shortly.
No, it didn't, Jim. No. I remember going through what I'd spent on dominoes that year, and it was over 4 figures. It's not cheap, is it? It's very much now in the tournament a case of which one of them's going to win it and who's going to get the 3rd and 4th spots. How it started off, they're just relentless. Rob's been relentless in stealing every opportunity he's got. 3-bet the 3 deuce off.
Yeah, that is Sven Calls. Snake asking if it's Sven Calls. Sven McDermott in seat 1, Paul Rigg 2, Robert Hallworth 3, Kevin Warlow 4, Bradley Harwood 5, and Phil Green in 6.
The recent 3rd place in the main, Jack Oliver in the World Series Poker main, offered Paul Rigg 10% of his action, and Paul said no. So that's 300,000 money that he could have won.
Oh, he's nearly forgot about it. Nearly.
And
after the week he's having.
One of the Blackpool regulars has rung him up on the wind-up this week saying, "Oh, you're lucky, son, you've won 300 grand," knowing full well he hadn't. I was too kind not to do that. I thought about it, but... Yeah. Kid, look, I knew someone, but I didn't have the heart to do it to him. Yeah, I could tell Span that he's a game theory guy, Brad. Brad, a relative of yours?
No, Luke, no relation. Same surname, but no relation.
Oh, okay, didn't clock that.
Yeah, it's rare. It's our first. I think there's only one other I've known my whole life, same surname.
Sven's got just south of 20 bigs. He's coming in with the open here. So what do you say you've played this week? You've played the PLO 1K?
Mini, PLO 250 and the PLO 1K.
Oh, okay. Any good?
Not been the best week, week. We had 4 in the 1K, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
And on stream, I remember saying I won't be getting involved in 6 card, and all them 4 bullets are busted in 6 card, yeah, so.
Action game.
And there's a pot and a repot in front of you. You've got like double suited aces, triple suited like king, queen, jack, 8, 9, 9 like suits. Like I'm in. But
it's a nice mix on the table because you've got Riggy and Phil who are not really GTO players. They're kind of old school field players, and then you've got Sven and Brad that probably do a lot of work on solvers. And then the guys in the middle probably a little bit of both, so it's a nice
little balance
on the table for sure. So we've got the heads up coming after, and then the Haymaker finale. I was at David's gym last night, bit of a pep talk and a bit of a laugh, and he's looking forward to it tonight. And I actually think he's going to win it. I've had a bet at 5-1 with someone, and I think he's going to take it down. That's on 7 o'clock, is it? Later.
There we are. We'll chuck it up. So UK 6 max to start the day, then we're moving on to the heads up after this finishes, and then to close out the day today is the Haymaker knockout sit and go. So that's 8-man sit and go, where David Haye will be involved. Anything David Haye cashes for is going to charity, and then you've got the 7 other players playing for a decent amount. I believe already got 4 figures locked up, all 7 of them.
Be a good day. Yeah, Mike, we had a bit of a sparring session, but I'm about 6 stone heavier than him, so he couldn't really take my he couldn't take the big uppercuts. The big Yorkshire might, he had to pack it in. They wound me up last time I was there because they were talking to me about Derek Chisora.
Yeah.
And there was a knock on the door, and he goes, "Oh, Trig, can you get the door?" And Chisora was stood in front of me, glaring at me, and he was winding me up, and they were all behind laughing at me because my arse wet.
Afternoon, Michael.
All the money going to the man in the flat cap. Just lucky. Yeah, he's had a good year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
It's great to see because, like, when you get older in poker, I know obviously I've started playing when I was 16, full time at 20. Now I'm 38. I'm at 37. I realise it's how hard it is when you get older to keep playing these long days. Yeah. It does take it out of you. So for Paul to grind the leaderboard like that is, I think it's remarkable to
keep up with. Yeah.
So Rob's open 4s, and he's going to get it through. Rob must be thinking, this is easy.
yeah.
It's a walk in the park. He's not faced anyone trying to 3-bet him or anything, and the hands he's bumped into, the distribution wise, there's been no hands people can defend or 3-bet, or he must be loving it so far how he's gone.
Yeah, well, he's just shy of half the chips in play, just over $500,000 in play. Rob up to 225k. Be very surprised if we don't see this man heads up.
I don't think there is any betting today, is on the sports.
No, unfortunately not. Yeah, we said about that. It would have been good to get a book going for the 6 max, but no sports book today.
Then of course I've not got a license, so I wouldn't be able to lay any bets.
Yeah. I don't mind it there. Yeah, perfect. I don't mind it there at all. This is the unlucky.
There's Dina in the background.
Kev's
OG now.
Open shove, 14 bigs.
Can't see his cards yet. And hopefully for him, nobody else can, because they're going to fold. I saw the some of the cash game of the night, the PLO cash game. Was that a game that you thought was juicy lineup? Did you want to get involved?
Yeah, it was all right. To be honest with you, I said it on the stream. We had a lineup set, but 4 players dropped up, and the original lineup was like you look at it and you think that is a game you want to be in.
Told me he was going to play.
Yeah, he's meant to be in it.
He didn't bother. And
but and then the lineup
Little Dave was different class, wasn't he? Yeah, was he already VPing in the end?
Yeah, like 70-75%. Yeah, like
he was in
just
more
absolutely going for it. He was Little Dave. But it's good. It's good to watch the aggression, because maybe in that lineup, you need to be more aggressive in that particular lineup. When you've got an action lineup, then that's when you need to tighten up. But
100%. It was good. It was a good adaptation from him. And good exploit from him playing like that.
Yes, this is live. It's Jonathan, but we are on a 30-minute delay.
one of the guys in the Haymaker thing is a regular, isn't he? Rich King.
Yes.
He's been playing. His username on the sites is Rich King, and he's been playing on the tour for ages. He's a really nice guy. I've a lot of time for Richard, so I think he'd have to be the favourite going into it.
Yeah.
Just on pure poker talent. But Hayes got a lot of history under the lights, and he's used to the pressure of games and the intangible things like that might come into play more than the actual talent. Yeah, I honestly think he's going to win it. Speaking to him last night, he's coming on leaps and bounds, and he's thinking about things that he didn't enter his brain 6 months ago. So that'll be good for later.
Chadwick.
Is he in the sin bin, Brad?
Is Chef unbanned yet? Yeah, I had to time him out for 10 minutes the other day because we were doing. So loads of people were asking about. I can't remember what it was. We were doing stuff, and then Brad just decided to put something in the chat every 1 second. So it's gone like that, and I'm missing all the questions. I'm like, I'm going to have to bar him.
Did he fall asleep with his elbow on the keyboard or something?
Oh, look who's here.
Come on, you get out.
All right, I'm going.
Go.
I'm going. I'm going.
Get out of town.
Take the coat.
Right.
Keep yourself warm.
So Rob's open here and Brad's going to defend 4s. So we've got a clash of the big stacks with a pair each. It's been the Rob show so far.
Has it really?
He's been in every part, winning parts.
Awesome.
So we could bet a little bit here. We could check back. Either's fine. They've been a bit cautious against each other.
Obviously, you play a lot online.
Yeah.
Do you play much six max, or is full ring like a no online?
Well, I usually play tournaments online. So whenever there's a 6 match running, I'll play it. But I don't mind full ring or 6 match really.
It's just interesting for us because obviously we don't do a 6 match tournament on a regular basis. So obviously the action should be a little bit quicker.
Yeah. There's not been any big hand against big hand clashes yet. The card distribution's just seen Rob raising a lot and everyone folding because they've not had hands to play back at really. Wow, so Brad raised. Rob c-bet and Brad thought that Rob had that many Brad variety of hands, he's just going to raise and use that as a raise. That's quite interesting.
Bubbled the 5k packages, did the man?
Rob did, I saw that. I was watching a bit of that actually. I thought it was. I watched it for someone's. I wanted to see someone gutted. I wanted to see someone miss out. So I watched it for that, like the cliffhanger of it and everything. Yeah. And I knew a few lads, Alex and Kelly were in there, weren't they? And I was watching a bit of that, and I wanted to see how people play with one big and stuff.
Well, Chris Maguire's dad, Paul Maguire, got a seat with 6,000 chips with the blinds at 8k.
Oh wow. That's the best seat. That's the best one to get, isn't it?
That's the best.
They always feel better than if you've got a heat.
Because on our feature table we got Craig from Bolton. He was on 2 bigs.
Craig Dawson.
Craig Dawson. He was on 2 bigs, and the button was 2 spots away from him being on automatically all in.
And he had the ace king, didn't he, that time?
And he had to fold it
because he was too busy out of his seat looking at the other stacks.
Yeah.
Oh, he got away with it.
He did. He got away with it, and in two hands' time, he would have automatically been in.
Yeah.
And I says to Paul, afterwards, I says, how far away from the blinds? He went 2 spots. I'm like, oh my days. And then obviously Rob got 7 deuced.
Can the guys use their package ASAP or is it next?
No, it's available now.
So they can play the grand final.
If they want to play the grand final, they can play the grand final.
Oh, lovely.
It's available now.
So looks like Rob's opened, Brad's defended the small blind and completed the small, and then Phil's called as well. So Brad's got a pair and a flush draw, and there's 2 top pairs. Phil's made a good fold here, just getting out of the way with his ace without any improvers, and Rob's going to call. Oh, and he makes his flush on the river. And he, with his bet, since he had the betting lead on the turn, you can imagine him. He's going to come in for a nice chunky bet here. And Rob's probably going to have to call this in the end. So this will be a bit of a swing in the chips. I'd imagine Brad will be chip leader after this pot.
Yeah.
So what's he coming for? Oh, he's gone really small, 8k. That's interesting. And Rob's just going to
feels
have to
like a call me bet, doesn't it? It just feels like
yeah.
you got to call me for 8k because you want to see what I've got.
Unfortunately for Rob, he's not going to get. For Brad, he's not going to get raised in this spot. He's just going to call the 8,000. You'd imagine. Locked up. They've got. Oh, the prizes are just on the bottom now.
Scrolling across the bottom.
2,400 quid locked up, and first prize is just over 5 figures. 10,000.
10.6, 10.7.
I'm not sure what Rob's thinking about here. It just seems like it's a pretty easy call for a quarter pot. Third of the pot.
Yeah.
About 8,000 into 24.
Even if it's straight 10. Even if it's just to see what he's playing.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Is he gonna, he's just going to call.
Just calls.
I don't know why he was debating raising. I guess he's never folded.
So we've got Rick Trigg in the box. Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Six Max. Prizes scrolling across the bottom. 10,000 for first and 2,400 locked up. So, afternoon, one and all. This is something different yet again for the live streaming of the GUKPT. We are here for the Six Max, the Heads Up, and the David Haye Challenge. David Haye played the 500 the other day.
Yeah,
the one day.
He won a few quid at cash as well. He's been playing the 1-3.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh,
so he's got a nice little confidence boost coming into tonight.
Like it.
So Rob's going to open the ace deuce of spades. He's not faced much resistance at all, but him and Brad have both got 200,000 now, and the rest have got less than 35. So it really is the have and the have-nots at the moment.
Yes, it threw me a little bit because when they were inputting the comp, they put everybody on H5000 with the blind starting at 816.
Yeah.
And I thought they were all playing on a level playing field, and then I realised when the chips were coming out, they were stacking up chips at different levels.
Can't see Sven's cards at the moment, but he's thinking about putting some more chips in the pot. He's just let it go.
Afternoon, everybody. What about a treble for tonight's games? I didn't even know there was any football.
There's a load of matches on tonight, yeah.
I'll be on it. We'll have one, Kev. We'll have one.
I had a few quid on Palace last night, and that was no good. It was a very dull game.
I don't even think they had a shot on target.
No.
We were watching it with Pix because he had to find a phone with Amazon Prime on it.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice blazer Trigg, scrubs up well, says Mikey W.
Thank you very much. As I'm more here on work than pleasure this week, I thought I'd make a little bit more of an effort.
There you go. So yeah, the Six Max. This is the final table of the Six Max. It was all played online. Did you play it?
Yes, played it for about 20 minutes. Knocked my chips off. I played on the laptop, you see. I get so lazy playing on a laptop when I lay back and watch a bit of telly. And I get in the zone of laziness, and my play usually reflects that. So I play better when I'm in my office, sat up in a chair on the desktop.
Yeah.
Anything I'm playing with a phone or a laptop, you can just forget the chance of winning anything.
Afternoon, Barry Neville watching on Facebook. West Ham a big bet at evens. We'll have a look. We'll stick a treble on during the heads up.
Someone who's a very good football judge told me that they think Leicester are a good price. It's 9-5 tonight away at Southampton.
Oh right, okay.
That was their bet of the week.
Yeah.
Don't know if it's still the price or what, but that's a great thing about football betting for companies is that everyone has got an opinion and they think they're right. So they'll take the same amount of money on the draw, the away, and the home win, so they can't lose, can they? It's a gold mine.
Afternoon, Richard Whitmore. Saw you in Blackpool.
You're playing, aren't you, next week? You're having a game somewhere.
Yes, we've got the 25-25s coming up. We'll show you them.
And you're going
off to Walsall. Yeah.
Junction 20, Junction 10, next to the village, is it?
Yeah. That's correct.
Oh, I've not been to Walsall in a few years.
Yeah, GUKPT used to stop every year in Walsall. As soon as you walked in, you just saw a picture of a big stiletto heel.
Remember that on the wall?
Oh,
yeah. Do you ever remember the Grosvenor Grand Prix they used to have?
Yes.
The pot limit tournament.
That's right,
there. Oh, crikey. That was a great tournament.
Zippy used to do well in that, didn't he?
Yes.
Always seemed to be top of the leaderboard.
What was his brother? Ash. Ash Hussain. Zaf, yeah.
Ash was Zippy.
Ash, yeah.
Ash Hussain, Zippy and Zaf.
Oh, here we go.
Aye, the first all in a call. Sven's got the 9s in seat 2 for 30,000.
Sven's opened and Rob's just put it in and just put him under a lot, trying to put him under a lot of pressure with 10-8 off.
Here we go.
Bordering on manic over aggression, but Sven's obviously not folding this hand or anything resembling a good hand here.
So that's short stack, Sven McDermott. Oh, that lovely flop, but any 6 or any jack.
Action flop.
What a flop.
Safe turn card. 6 and a jack is going to send Sven home in 6th. Oh, we've got a new contender on our hands.
Absolutely. Oh, King.
Breaks off.
We get a double up for Sven in seat number 2.
First misstep from Rob there after cruising up to his stack. So it'll be interesting now to see if Rob puts the brakes on a bit or if he carries on with his all-out aggression.
The old jam sandwich.
Yeah, Vitor says he'll regret doubling up in that spot.
Streams a lot as well, doesn't he, Sven?
Yeah.
We've been told on numerous occasions that he does stream quite a lot.
A lot of decisions in poker depend on how good the player you're against is. If the player you think's not a very good ability, you don't mind giving him a spin, not a spin, but you don't mind calling an all in or making a play, knowing that if they double, you've got a chance of getting them back anyway.
Yeah.
But if the player's a really good player, you think twice about wanting to double them up, so you probably play tighter ranges against them. So that might have been a bit of a misstep from Rob there, but he had 9s. You know, if he had 7-8 off, he wins the pot, and it's just happened to have a big hand there. Sven dangerous now.
He is.
He is dangerous, but now the stacks are so he's clear 3rd place. So whether he's going to decide that he's got 3rd locked or he wants to try and make 3rd, or whether he's going to go for it now, probably going to go for it. He's had a bit of success recently. He streams, so he'll be a capable player. And I've actually never seen his stream. Have you ever watched it?
No, I haven't. Just I know a lot of guys. Whenever he's on a feature table, he gets a lot of viewers.
Apparently he's hilarious, but I met him briefly for 5 minutes, and that's the first time we've met. So Rob's having a stab here with the 9 high, and Kevin's just going to call. I like this. He's going to hopefully Rob empties the clip here, and he's going to pick him off with his ace and maybe double up if Rob decides to carry on going.
4 of hearts on the turn.
And Rob's decided to give it up. Yeah.
What's up top? We'll keep flicking up the prize pool, scrolling across the bottom. The UK 6 Max Championships that were held online all the way down to the final 6. Then we came live. Obviously, everybody was aware that that's exactly what was happening. Didn't want anybody saying, why is it stopped or anything like that. Oh my days. 10,000 first, 6.6, 4.5, 3.3, 2,700 for 5th, and then 6th will be £2,400 locked up. Good luck, one and all. This is the final 6. Later this afternoon, we have the Heads Up Championships. 4 players will be battling it out, and then we'll get to the final whenever that may be. And then at roughly 8 o'clock, it'll be the David Haye Invitational. Still gutted there's a spare seat, and I've not been invited. There's only 8 on the table. There's 9 spots, man.
Oh no, they could have done it for another week, couldn't they? See, this King 8 of clubs here is a bit of an acid test. Yeah, invitational. The King 8 of clubs was a bit of an acid test there to how Sven's going to approach it. Now he's got a few more chips, because now with him deciding to fold it, he kind of thinks that Rob is going to be a bit too aggressive on his left, or Brad. So he decided to fold the King 8 of clubs there. So that was interesting. I assumed he was going to open.
Yeah, Elliot all got sorted for Sven.
He wasn't the guilty party, was he? It was it was associates.
Yeah. Something happened in Blackpool, but he's got himself a seat and got himself sorted. Thankfully. Thanks to everybody that sorted it out.
Someone better go and wake Riggy up in a minute. Is he asleep under that cap? So Rob's raised it. Rob's raised the cut-off, and Brad's going to defend this. Just call. Sorry, I keep saying defend. Just call the open. And Phil's in there with 10-8 of diamonds as well.
Ace, king, 3, 2 spades. Is there more bluffing involved in 6 max?
I wouldn't say more bluffing, but because there's only 6 players, so every time you raise, you've only got 5 to go through. You've got to widen your ranges, so you play more hands that you wouldn't play 9-handed.
Yeah.
So, like you see with connectors, when you're playing full ring, you're supposed to fold in early position with like your 6-5 suited 7. But in 6 max, you're supposed to raise most of the time. So you're seeing a lot more aggression that way because you're playing a wider range of hands. But a lot of people do go a bit crackers in 6 max and do it too much. So
well, that's only like some players in a full ring that'll play the VP be over 70%, and you're thinking, what you doing?
We were saying, me and Jay, though, little Dave in the cash game. He was 70% playing all night. It's crackers. And
you see his social media post overnight?
Yeah.
Fantastic to get a different variation, but just make it bigger.
Yeah, well, that's what all the players with a lot of money say. If you've got no money, you want it smaller. You just can't please everybody.
Yeah, great to have him on board and watching the live stream as well, Dave.
Little Riggy's awake, coming in with an open now. $4.5k with ace 10 off. I bought him breakfast this morning, Riggy. If anyone can guess what he had, I'll give you 50 quid cash next time I see you in the chat box. That's a clue that it's a hard thing to guess.
Well, instantly you look down and you think, well, it's got to be a full English, but obviously that's too easy. Even I'm having a guess.
It's not a full English.
Well, this could be action because we've got an ace high flop, ace 6-9, ace 7 for Sven, ace 10.
And it's gone quickly, check. I mean, Riggy stacks so much that he can get it all in by the river anyway by betting 5k or 6k now and then the other 14 odd on the river, so he doesn't really have to go twice. So this is going to go bet call, and then Riggy's going to probably put it in on most rivers, and then it's going to be up to Sven, I'd imagine. Or Sven can just make a hero fold and just read his soul, but so Sven's going to call, and then Riggy's going to put it in on most rivers that don't look really bad.
Jack of spades on the river. It's a check mark to Riggy.
And Riggy's all in, nice play. And now this is a tough spot, and I think Sven's going to end up folding.
Yeah,
great fold, well played.
So we've got, for Riggy, we've got fruit salad.
Nope.
Avocado on toast.
Nope.
Eggs Benedict.
Nope.
Granola.
Nope.
The mushroom sauce, the mushroom sandwich with brown sauce.
Nope.
Salmon.
Right, a unicorn.
Cornflakes. Last night's kebab.
No.
Bacon sandwich. Smashed avocado on toast. Chicken salad.
No.
Sardines.
No.
Oh God.
No.
Black pudding and Guinness.
Two more minutes, because once we've exhausted everything, someone's going to bloody get it, and I don't really want to give 50 quid away.
A porn
this
star
time
martini. Last night kebab. A toasted tea cake.
No.
Why are toasted tea cakes so expensive?
I don't know.
It's just really weird. Why are they
I don't know.
Why are they so expensive?
Well, beans on toast. You're paying £6 for that at some cafes, aren't you? Beans on bloody toast.
Not KFC, not McDonald's. I'm guessing it's somewhere in here. Was it in here?
No, it wasn't in here.
Oh, it was out. It was outdoors.
I can't tell you where, because they'll be on googling the menu up, and someone will get it. Chip butty. You can't get good fish and chips in London, can you?
Mickey's Place.
Yeah?
Yeah, down where Hilton is. Same street, left at point A.
Nice, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Left at point A.
You ever been to one of them pie and mash shops they have?
No, pie and liquor.
Yeah. What's the sauce?
It's like really thin gravy. Isn't it? Like extra thin gravy.
It's light coloured, isn't it? With little herbs in it.
No idea what it is, that liquor stuff. Chicken pie, toasted coffee, last 30 seconds. Dippy egg soldiers.
What did you have in Edinburgh? Did you have any of the delicacies up there? The deep fried pizza,
deep fried Mars bar and all that.
Yeah, did you have any of those?
No,
I didn't.
No, I stuck to the. But some place we had a on the way back before the train, we went into the Toby Carvery, and they do a breakfast, don't they?
Yeah.
Like unlimited buffet.
Oh, yeah.
They had Yorkshire puddings on the menu.
Oh,
for breakfast.
brilliant.
For
Do you have any?
breakfast.
Do you have any?
No. Sausage, bacon, eggs, mushrooms, tomatoes, Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, you daffy should have had a big toad in the hole with a bit of gravy and bacon and sausage in there. Oh, it'd have been lovely. Toad in the hole breakfast. Perfect.
Oh, dear.
So Brad's open to 4K now, and Sven's on the button. Can 3-bet or call, but he'll be definitely putting some money in the pot. I'd probably prefer a call, just because he doesn't want Brad lumping him in if he 4-bet jamming if he decides to 3-bet this. So I assume he's going to call, but a 3-bet works all right as well, as long as he puts some money in the pot.
He just calls. He makes a call with the ace 8.
And Rob's going to call the extra 2.4 here.
Yes. And they are suited.
So Riggy had for his breakfast halloumi Benedict.
Halloumi Benedict.
Yes.
Obviously, that's the cheese.
Yeah, halloumi Benedict.
Does that come with the eggs or not?
Yeah, eggs and halloumi and yeah.
Halloumi Benedict. Well, we're close with the eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
Wow. Impressive.
Wow, look at the flop. Sven's flop 2 pair. Rob's got middle pair and a flush draw. And Brad's bet out 7K. I don't blame him. This is going to be.
This is action.
This is action.
2
because
pair flush draw.
Rob's definitely playing the aggressive route in most pots, so I assume he's going to raise this. But no, he's just going to call. And Brad's thinking, right, I'm done now.
This is definitely the
imagine
biggest pot
imagine a 4 of hearts on the turn.
Oh,
wow. 2 pairs versus 2 pairs and a flush draw. So Queen 5's got 2 pairs and a flush draw.
Ace 8.
Sven's got 2 pairs. This is getting into.
Any 4 of hearts on the river?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, imagine that on the turn. Wow. So now Sven's gonna bet 25K, I'd imagine, something like that. 22K. Well, I mean, he's only got just over pot. I mean, there's an argument for putting it in. Mm-hmm. But I think he's going to bet not all in, probably 18, 19, 20,000 odd.
Leave himself
I'd imagine,
half his stack just in case. But what does he do if Rob comes over the top?
Well, he's going to have to put it in, isn't he? Yeah, definitely. He's not folding at this point to anything. So it's just Sven thinks he's clearly got the best hand. So he's just trying to work out. So he's just shoved, which is all right as well.
Triangle's in now. Rob should be doing the same.
And Rob's gonna call every time, and Brad's gonna get out of the way, and Rob's gonna need a club, a queen or a 5, or Sven's doubling up again.
We get a full chip count.
Yeah, he did rip it in. Yeah, it was just a bit awkward, wasn't it? The stack size 300 pot, 3-way pot.
So
if he had 60K, he could go 20, then 40 on the river, but it was just a bit awkward there. Rob
34,400 is all in for.
Rob just has to call. There's no point at all shoving. He's probably just posturing a little bit, just in case Brad's got something decent. But he's just gonna have to call this. So
it's more than 34. I think it's 44.
Yeah, 44, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's 34K.
44.4.
Oh, okay, right.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's more than that. Yeah.
So 44.4. It's still a call.
Yeah, he's definitely got to call. He's got 2 pairs, flush draw.
Yeah.
It's conceivable Sven could have a draw of his own. He could have spades
up
himself.
The 4s will get out of the way.
So we're going to need a 5, a queen, or a club. Or Sven's going to be a massive player in this tournament now, and he'll probably surpass Rob in the chip counts only if he if he holds.
Yeah, it's £123,000 chip pot. The river. It's the 8 of spades.
Oh, he houses up. Now we've got a new. Now it's a ball game. Now we got a ball game. So now he's overtaken Rob for 2nd place, and Brad's a bigger chip leader now because they've just basically doubled it, they've evened themselves out. So now we've got a ball game.
Anybody thought Sven was dangerous before? He's just doubled up. He's a little bit more dangerous right now. 2nd in chips, Sven McDermott in seat number 2. Riggy down on 20 bigs. Phil and Kev just sitting there waiting for something to happen.
They'd have been rooting on the Queen 5, wouldn't they, for the little ladder?
Absolutely.
And to get Sven out, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, they all know he's dangerous now.
Yeah, and Vitor said that the 10-8 off, if he didn't
double
go over aggro
that,
there, then he doesn't accumulate the chips to double him up there, etc. Yeah, there's a lot of butterfly effect moments in poker, isn't there, where little things affect everything. And
let's go, Sven. Got a lot of people rooting for him in the chat. This is the final of the 6, Max.
Rob will be a bit shell-shocked because he started off so well and then he just had a few real bad things happen to his stack, and now he's halved his stack nearly, so it'll be interesting to see how he reacts to that.
Yeah. So the blind's up every 40 minutes. So at 10 past. The blinds are the blinds up now? Should be.
Has Sven put anything on his social media about him playing this, I imagine? So we'll get some of his. Welcome to anyone who follows his stream to ours, and if you like it, we'll be back.
Can
all
you?
day.
What's it called? If you is it host? You host somebody, and then maybe you stick his Twitch on and host it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
he should be. That's what he should be doing. If he's not, tell him.
Yeah, come on, host us. We've got the GKBT Grand Final, haven't we, from tomorrow?
Yes, from tomorrow.
The big one.
Yeah, absolutely. Sven won the WPT 6 match in the Philippines.
Oh, lovely.
So he can play live as well as online. To be fair, he did turn up at 20 past 12 for the 12 o'clock start.
Yeah.
So,
but we decided to wait for him, didn't we?
We did. We decided it was worth waiting for.
He absolutely sprinted here. He was just sweating buckets when he got here. I had to get him a water before he passed out. Riggy's going to open here. I did expect to bust out before now. I have to say.
With the 3 shorties.
Yeah.
Phil making it up with his
Queen Jack.
With his Queen Jack.
Bit of paint on the flop. Is that King or is it Jack Queen? I can't quite see. Oh, 2 kings. So I imagine Riggy's going to have a little bet here and gets the fold. Every one of the pots short stack against short stack so big because you're adding to yours and lowering theirs, and it's so swingy. And
yeah, the blinds are 8-16. They started at 6-12.
Did they start 6-12 today?
No,
I think they started at 8-16.
They started at 8-16.
They should have gone up, shouldn't they?
Yeah, yes. Yeah,
I think it's 1-2k now.
The action tracker. We'll get him sorted out. We'll poke him in the eye. It's a 90.
Yeah, so it's 1-2k now. Riggy's got ace king of diamonds. Opens again. And all in from Phil, so we're going to get an all in and a call here. Come on, Riggy, just call. Look at him looking at the stack.
Yeah, I know.
Like he's ever folded. So ace king for Riggy against. Is that 2 9s? Looks like 2 9s maybe.
Certainly get it.
We'll see in a sec.
Certainly get it there.
Looked like 2 9s. Was it 9-10 spades or maybe? Definitely looks like 2 9s, but get it confirmed in a sec.
As soon as we go to the flop, we'll get exactly what they are. I think the tracker's just inputting the cards into the...
Riggy didn't like that much.
Lost everything.
By the look of his face.
Unfortunately, we lost everything.
He's looking a bit of a wry smile there. Maybe he's losing the pot. No, he's took Phil out, I think. Has he? Who's won the pot?
I don't know. Don't know what happened.
Some good dealing today, to be fair. Every all-in's had a bit of a sweat. Yeah.
didn't look too happy on the flop.
No, the set of 9. Sorry about that.
So now Riggy's going to be left with fumes, basically, I think. Maybe 5 big blinds, I'd imagine. Something like that. An ABC geriatric. The king of the one-liners, isn't he? He's bringing them all out today, little one-lining, old dad jokes, little quips.
It makes it a little bit different as well, because the blinds are 1-2, obviously, and not the 8-16 that we started at.
So Riggy will be on his first star of Pramen shortly, probably, if he busts.
Oh, swapping of the dealers.
And ABC Geriatrics back in the game now.
Payouts. KLG, scrolling across the bottom are the payouts of this event.
10k and a nice trophy. Everything's a trophy. There's trophies for everything in there this week. The heads up, the 6 max, the haymaker, and obviously the main, the grand final. Been a great year, hasn't it? The numbers have been amazing, haven't they? All year.
Absolutely, all year, from start to finish.
The bar figures are all through the roof. And everyone's getting on, aren't they? It's such a good atmosphere, isn't it, this year?
Yeah, it's gone back to festival feel, hasn't it?
Yes, brilliant. It's been brilliant. And the tournaments are unmissable if you're a professional player. You've got to just play them because there's that much value and there's that much up top. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to Friday's tournament. 487, I've said.
487.
Sorry, 387. Jay said 450.
All right, okay.
Runners total for the main. Guess? You have any guess?
So 7-8-8 flop.
Turns a straight.
Turns a straight.
For Rob. Unfortunately for him, Sven's only got a gut shot and a bad overcard. So Rob's obviously hoping that Sven comes in and tries to bluff 2 streets, which it looks like he's probably going to go for. And Rob should just, I don't know, Rob might decide to raise or call, but he's in a great spot. And Sven's only got a chop out in the 5. No good.
So Rob's going to get a few more chips back off Sven.
Sven's got a nice little hand here to bluff. He doesn't block spades that missed. So he's going to have a... Yeah, he bet something there. Did he? Or did he just decide to give up? I think he just gave up the river.
He did indeed.
There's a lot. I was saying to Jay, there's a lot of things in live poker that are hard to explain technically. But if you've got a read on someone, you can do it. You can make anything a good play. If you've got a feeling like an intangible, if you've got something comes in your head and it's experience, and you think I've seen that before. Somewhere they actually had a hand. I'm going to check this back where the people will be saying, well, you should bluff this X percentage. But if you know someone's looking strong and they're giving off a tell, you can do anything. You can explain your play anywhere, you know.
Live poker. Get them tells.
Oh, did Sven have a little bet on the river? Yeah, just a little bet. Yeah, and Rob snapped.
Guys,
yeah, between 350 and 400, there's a lot of people's guessing for the grand final. Just if you are interested, 556 are needed for the mill ball.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
556 runners needed for the million.
If it's going to happen, it's going to be London, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And it can only happen the grand final.
Yeah.
Obviously, bigger buy-in, 18 plus 2. Here's the buy-in. So a £2,000 buy-in. If it does happen, it's going to be London.
Yeah. Chance. We've got a chance. And Kev's going to put this in, I think. Yeah. And Sven's going to call. And then we've got a chance for a first casualty. If Sven's 7s hold up here against Kev.
So Kev's all in, seat number 6.
Bang on 50-50, coin flip. What are you going for, Jacks or Ace Jack or the 7s?
I always like to be in front. on the flop.
Yeah. So you having the sevens?
Pre-flop. I'll take the sevens.
I'll have the ace jack then. Still a fairish five.
Any more outs needed?
Still a fair five.
Any ace, any queen, any jack?
Oh, no one's got a club, so it's still ace, queen, or jack. And it's not, so we're going to lose a player. Kev's gone. Good game, mate. Unlucky. Nothing you could do, and more momentum for Sven now.
Absolutely. He is the man today. Seat number 6. Kev Warlow, Atlantis on line. Came today with just 29,900. Didn't manage to get himself that double up.
He'll be loving it, Riggy, won't he? Sat on 9 bigs looking at that. He'll make
He's
himself
got
an
the
extra 400 quid or something. Yeah.
Scrolling across
He'll
the
be
bottom.
loving that, yeah.
The final 6 payouts of the 6 max. So well done to Kevin. Got himself £2,400, and now the extra little pay jump for the short stacks.
And he won the seat to the main last night in the satellite, so he's
Kev,
got, yeah,
did he?
So he's in the main event
dreamy.
this weekend as well.
Dreamy.
Rob's got a lovely hand on the button here. Lovely hand now, a lot of back doors working. He's going to come in with a little bet and gets a fold. Yeah, Riggy, nice little lad, a bit of beer money for him. But he's not out of it. 9 big blinds soon turns to 23 odd if you get the double.
Incoming, gruesome twosome. Let me tell you.
I'm going to leave you in better hands in a minute.
Rick, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it. I've got
brilliant as always.
Thanks very much, guys.
Good luck for the rest of the week.
Thank you very much.
Top man,
do an hour with you later.
Mr. Rick Trigg, and incoming Jamie Nixon and Katie Swift. I don't know which way they want to sit down or get themselves in, but we'll leave them to it. And as soon as they come in, they will stick this camera. Katie's ready to come in. Get yourself sat down, Kate. We've gone all in. Queen's for it. Oi, Riggy's all in. Quick, get in. Rob's going to call this for 19,000. He can't not. Riggy's going to get a double up.
I'll let you two.
We literally don't know the blinds or anything. We've just
the blinds are 1,000, 2,000. Riggy's all in for 10 bigs.
Yeah.
Queen's against King Queen. His short stack, Riggy, is already won the
short
PLO.
Stack at the table, yeah?
He is now. Now we've got one missing. King 5-4. But the diamonds is a redraw for Riggy.
You can't lose without looking.
Oh my days, Riggy never fake. He never,
yeah, we're
never
loving
misses.
the hat.
He never misses. Oh my days, he comes brick. Riggy has just finished in 5th. So you just literally got to the table to see the Rigster take £2,700 as 4th place finisher. So now we're going to hand over to Jamie Nixon and to Katie Swift.
Seems a good point for a handover, right?
Al shall get out of the way, and I shall see you at the break very shortly. Then we'll stick them on 1 minute, and we've got Katie and Jamie. And then
there we go, we're all on.
Hello everyone. How are we doing?
Right.
Oh, the patch is falling off already.
Yeah, you lost your touch.
As if we lost
Right,
Riggy.
hi everyone.
I was looking forward to commentating on Riggy.
I know. I was looking forward to seeing him play as well, like on a. Okay, well we don't need us on this.
I think you pressed that one.
I thought you said this one.
See, this is why I'm in charge of the buttons.
What's that one do? Right.
So what are the blinds? 1K, 2K, yeah?
Yeah.
So there's a couple of players that I know fairly well from battling with them online. That's Sven and Brad. Both very, very good online players. Both streamers as well.
Rob as well, we've battled online and it's been a lot of tables. He's sort of a... and actually Phil as well plays a lot online, doesn't he? So he obviously won the G Coupe package. Was that last year, year before? I can't quite remember lose track of the dates, but I know that he topped that leaderboard, didn't he? And got the sponsorship for 1 year. Oh, yeah, you know, the package, qualified for that. So we know he's decent and knows what he's doing. And
ABC Geriatric, he is on Grosvenor.
And Robbie, is Rob Jam Sandwich?
Jam Sandwich, yeah.
So
he's been getting some results lately.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good lineup. This.
Who would be your pick for I don't know the stats. Obviously, we've only literally just sat down, so we don't know. Looks like Brad's chip leader by the looks of it.
Yeah, I
possibly.
think just because of the stacks and because he's a good player, I would say Brad at this moment. If Sven turns an ace here, though, I'll go Sven. Yeah, I'll go Brad for that king. What's Spans? Oh, Spans in the chat. He says Rob's been very aggro in early stages, but had to calm down. He's been caught a couple of times. Jam Sandwich being aggressive. I never have thought that. Hope you're doing good,
Someone's
Span.
saying good luck to me. I'm not playing, but thanks. always need the luck, no matter what you're doing, I suppose. So, thanks for that. Hi to everyone in the chat box.
Rob doubles Sven up twice. Okay.
It's cold here, actually, isn't it?
It is a little bit.
Cold.
Sven firing again now.
Yeah, I agree. Kev's just said he thinks the grand final will pass the 450 mark.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me either with it. But every event seems to be like huge, which is good to see. So, bit of overkill here for the King Queen, just extra insurance.
Yeah, nice to see Sven slowing down. I mean,
yeah.
Sven in the past might have just gone bet jam, but he's improved massively over the last year or two. He's a really, really good player now. It's good enough to realise that Brad is very, very strong on the spot and manages to get away from it and still be in third place with 40 bigs. You're going to get your coat. Can you get past?
Yeah, just bear with me.
Alan says it's been great having poker back. It really is. It really is. Kev says, really hope Adam Neal binks the heads up later. He's here already. He's in the building. He's been here since about 1 o'clock. Getting here 3 hours early. Getting himself acclimatised to the Vic.
Got my granny scarf on.
Just if you want to see what Katie's doing, she's got herself all wrapped up in a blanket.
It's cold. It's really cold. It's like a duvet. Oh my dear. Right.
Like a little old lady in that.
Oh well, you know. Right. So what they should be quite used to playing short-handed as well. These players.
Yeah,
they're not. Yeah. It's not unfamiliar territory for them. So.
No, Jam Sandwich has been deep in a lot of comps recently. And is he reaching for chips here with a 10-2 off? Is he coming in for a? He is with a 10-2 off. Doing it for the fans with the 10-2 off on the stream.
Yes. Yeah.
Alan says, hi Jamie, any update on getting your leaderboard sorted out? It's all sorted.
We're on it.
I think Kev had the latest one. He'll update you.
I think Rob's got his Christmas jumper on, hasn't he? I don't know what it says, but
I can see ho ho ho.
Yeah.
I don't know what else it says.
I mean, I can't hear their table, but it doesn't. They're not sort of chatty, are they? By the looks of it, they're just sort of all in their zones playing.
Alan says he can't wait for Goliath next year. I know. It's been.
You haven't been to one yet, have you? So.
I've been to Goliath, but I haven't played the Goliath main event. So I can't wait for that. So what kind of Grosvenor sponsor pros and played a Goliath main event, eh?
Yeah. So Rob deciding to make up the blind and then Brad coming in for the raise. Checking over. Likely to see a C-bet here from Brad. See his sizing. Don't know what the chip denominations are actually, these colours. 3.5 and a call. Obviously Rob had the ace of clubs here, so he, you know, had the nut back door, but not that Rob needed it. Sorry, not that Brad needed it, but he's hit the 7.
Be interesting to see how this reaction goes.
Yeah. I felt as if he was gonna. Yeah, I felt as if he was gonna lead here.
It's John Sandwich, he always goes for it.
What's his stack? I'll just. Yeah, he'll just call this.
He does call up.
Yeah.
We'll play Brad chipping up now. It's 246k.
Nice call.
Okay. Kev says it's still not updated. It's updated on the link, Kev. You did get second, so well done, mate. Great run in the league.
Yeah, nice one, Kev. Nice one. It's nice to see the loyal players doing well in the leagues, isn't it?
It is. The Christmas jumper says, "No, I have something." Ho ho ho. Was it? No.
No,
I have a machine gun.
Oh.
Ho ho ho. Yeah,
I'm like really puzzled by that. Thinking, I obviously don't get it.
From Die Hard, that Christmas film.
I'm not a big like TV or film person, so.
Probably an embarrassing thing for me, but I've not actually watched Die Hard ever, which my mates would have a go at me for, I'm sure.
So we've got a raise and a call pre-flop. The jack flops best with the jack 9 here for the big blind. Checks over, C-bet by Rob.
Check raised, that's Phil.
Is Rob calling this? Right, okay. Interesting. Maybe as a plan, or I mean,
be interesting to see what Phil does
isn't.
now.
Yeah, I'd like to. Oh, see, I'd like to see the check there. I wonder what did he bet there?
Didn't see.
No.
I quite like how this is something that is changed at the World Series. So I don't know if anybody saw the World Series final table. If any of you saw Raylan, Jack, Oliver in that one, they actually coloured up the chips quite a lot. So the players, even Karai, who went on to win it, had very few physical chips on the table. But if you look at Rob's stack here, he's got chunks of chips on the table. Which I really like. It's nice to see that. I know they've got the triangles, but when people put stacks out, it just looks so much better on a final table.
I prefer having that visible chip stack rather than just the the actual amount.
Yeah.
I think it makes a difference mentally to
it
your
does.
game.
It really does, yeah.
Even when like some players don't like changing up the change to you because they like the even though they're lower denomination chips and they're kind of not worth as much, they still like having that physical stack in front of them, and you can see their game actually does change with it, so it does make a difference for sure.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes, Jack, this is the final table of the 6 Max event that the day 1 played online last week, was it? I think it was last week, or a week before. And this is the final table for the Six Max now, so they're all in the money, and we have 4 players remaining. Payouts. How do we do the payouts? Are they on the screen somewhere?
I'll get the payouts up.
Can we do a thing?
Prize ticket, there we go.
Yeah,
Right, scroll along the bottom of the screen there.
Yeah.
We'll
Got
keep that on
ourselves
for
a
a
new
little bit.
job.
Who needs Tower
We're
and
getting
Jay?
good at this.
See, £500 buy-in, 51
Oh,
entries.
Sean's in the chat box, in it. Katie in it. He was on my table the other night. He was brilliant. Well, honestly, that was such a good table. So fun. So fun in there. I think it was the 1K we were playing. And we had Connor and Sean. They were on the beers. Yeah, it was good fun.
Got
a hand here. Full-handed. There's 3 hands out there playable.
This is a weird spot now for Brad because he's getting such a good price and he's got a hand that can flop really well, but I haven't really seen how Phil's been playing up until this point. We've seen him since we came into the booth anyway.
Yeah.
He's always had it. So that'll be something that Brad will be thinking about. And then the cold call from Rob as well is quite scary. I mean,
it does feel like that. It's more that element rather than the button 3-bet.
Yeah.
I would say in this scenario. I mean, you would credit Phil with a hand. This is dangerous flop for the 7s now. It's it's just instant shard.
Wow. Yeah, he does fold.
Great fold.
The thing with this is
and he's shown as well.
The thing with this is when Rob cold calls, a lot of the time he's going to be pretty capped to a certain type of hand, which is going to be 7s through 10s, and maybe something like Ace Queen, Ace Jack.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Phil has his reasons for jamming this flop. It might be a specific read that he has on this player, but when your opponent's capped to those types of hands, you've got to think about what you're trying to get called from. So if Rob's instantly mucking 7s, he's probably mucking 8s and 9s as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So then his only real decisions are going to be with 10s and jacks.
But also any drawing hands as well. If he's in there with like a suited ace, the Ace Queen, Ace King, hearts, kind of. Even the fact if it was Ace High, if he just puts a small bet in, the kind of player that Rob is, we've seen how active he is. We've seen how he can raise without hands, and he carries on without hands as well, without having connected. The blind on blind situation with him and Brad, where he had the back door but nothing really much else going on. He does continue, so by and the speed of that all in as well, he's not gonna be staying in there with anything. Maybe Phil doesn't want him in there with any draws, but you're kind of losing for them monster hands. You're not going to be picking him up all the time. So and with his stack, you kind of want to get more chips there from that range.
I mean, it's one of those where we can see that he's lost value there, which is a shame. But I'm sure Phil has his reasons and some kind of read on Rob or something like that, which wasn't correct this time. But it'll be interesting to see how the future hands between them go now. Because
when you've cold called from the blind, though, you're not going to have possibly hit that flop. You're always going to have, I would say, better than what that particular flop was. So therefore,
I mean, it's like
it's
7s
the
through 10s.
speed of that all in as
jacks,
well. If he just puts a small, normal bet size out, normal C bet.
It's quite a good board to check with kings as well.
Yeah.
But we shall see. Lawrence, well done on your Vegas cash. There's bigger things to come. Thank you very much, Lawrence.
My mum's in the chat box. Hi, Mum.
All right,
so question from my mum. Is the Haymaker game being streamed today? Yes, it is. It's on at 8 o'clock is when the game starts. So I think the stream starts half hour after that. And you actually bought me this blanket, Mum. This was the... you bought it for me for Vegas because you said to me... I remember my first Vegas trip, my mum said to me, all of the card rooms are so cold out there, you'll need... a wrap, a big blanket wrap.
Really?
So she bought me this my first Vegas trip. So, but yeah, I need it in here today. It's freezing.
Rob's going to flick this call in, I think. Brad has to go for the bluff here. He's got 6 high. It's pretty much the worst hand he's going to get to showdown with, so he just has to bluff.
I wonder if Rob's thinking of... Did he just call? Yeah, I wondered if he was thinking of any other play there, but he hasn't got anything really to go with it, so...
Yeah. Oh, your mum also said, "Looking beautiful, babe." Oh, cheers, Sue. I appreciate that. It's very kind.
Yeah.
Ben says, "Any update on the home game leagues?" Yeah, it's all updated on the link. There was a bit of a controversy in the Discord group last night.
I think Jamie wants warming up.
I do. I've only got a t-shirt
I'm not
on.
sharing my blanket with him. I'm snuggled right up. Nice playable hand here for Sven. The suited King 10 under the gun.
It'll definitely
So
be
the
open.
blinds have just gone up, have they?
2.4k, yeah.
What are the levels? Are they 20? Are they?
So it's 30 minutes now. It started at 40 minutes and
yeah.
it's now gone to 30. Sven raising or is he coming in for a limp? Yeah, it's raising.
Yeah.
And he's
I'm not
getting
surprised actually as well because of it being on Phil's blind as well with this, you know, you're putting pressure on the short stack there that's similar stack size to you, and then now he's got the dynamic of being in position blind on blind. Phil probably kind of likes his chances there in that dynamic, I would imagine, if it was, you know, Sven.
This would be a spot normally where Rob would be pretty, given the stacks and given the payouts, Rob would normally be in a tough spot here, ICM wise, but they're still very deep. Like Rob's in second place with 60 bigs, and the two shorter stacks have 30 bigs, so it'll be quite interesting to see how this plays out. We're going to have to see some coolers really for it to go in, which can happen more often forehanded, of course. But Sven will be defending this one. No real need to 3-bet.
No.
Especially against Rob, who's not going to be folding to 3-bets as often as some of the other players potentially.
No, he probably is one of the ones that gets most sticky, I would say, from my experience of him online anyway.
It says, how was Paul Rigg eliminated? Just before I did it. So he got his last 10 bigs in with Queens versus King Queen.
And he had the the Queen of Diamonds.
Yeah.
And the flop was all diamonds as well. So he.
King High.
But it's King High, yeah.
And he bricked.
Yeah.
Which isn't like him this week after taking down the.
Nice flop here for the
PLO
King
high
10.
roller. Yeah, Sven's just got to check. I
mean,
think
you're always going to be checking over to Rob, who's, you know, bound to c-bet. I just like the flat call where keep Rob in. Rob's the sort of player that will probably fire again as well on a lot of turns.
Yeah.
He's the sort of player that will rep anything on any board. Like, he's not going to...
He's gone for the raise.
Yeah. I suppose from Sven's point of view, he's hoping that Rob has either hit the king or has a big drawing hand with like an ace queen, an ace jack, queen jack. You know, he could also have hit the 10 like a jack 10 type of hand that then doesn't believe that Sven's got a hand as strong as what it is. You can see that Rob doesn't like to fold, does he? He's not one that likes to give up easy.
Definitely.
He always tries to piece together the puzzle of how can he win this pot? How can he be the one that takes this pot down? So
that's something that Sven will be aware of.
Yeah.
He's very good at adapting to different player types. So that's probably why he does this, because he knows that Rob's probably not going to fold a 10. He knows that he's probably not going to fold a king. He's not going to fold queen jack.
Yeah.
He's probably going to continue with ace jack with a backdoor, something like that. So if he's continuing with all these hands when we do raise, and we get to keep betting turns, that's great. The other types of hands that he's going to have is maybe something like pocket fours or pocket five, or something like pocket fours or pocket sevens, which is going to check back turn anyway, and we're not going to get value on turns from. So if he knows he's not going to get any more value out of sevens or fives or whatever it may be, then we may as well raise now and target the king X, the 10x.
Yeah.
If he's got aces, if he's got ace jack, if he's got ace queen, if he's got ace 10 even.
I think against that player, the raise is perfectly fine. Me myself, I would have just flatted there, hoping that Rob would continue on the turn, because of he is the sort of player that doesn't necessarily check back a turn, but is player dependent, because against for me personally, I know Rob's never checking back a turn against me, so therefore I can exploit that and, you know, withdraw that kind of continued c-bet on turn.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the dynamics change.
Again, the button small blind. Obviously, the button raises with the ace 5. These are the two with the shortest stacks. Still perfectly playable stacks, but they are the ones that are going to, you know.
Gone to 16k or 15 now? Oh, he's gone 20.
20.
So what's Fennel been thinking about there is he 3-bet calling or is he 3-bet folding? That's what he's got to think about. So I think he probably would have been 3-bet calling against most people, but then occasionally 3-bet folding against specific opponents, and whether Phil falls into that category or not, that's something that only Sven will know.
He's also putting the pressure back onto Phil to basically play for his stack there, really. Yeah. He's not going to be peeling a flop for that sizing against his stack, so he's kind of asking the question there and then, like, you know, do you want to play it out now kind of thing. I don't think that Phil, you know, I mean, he just snap folded, didn't he? He's not going to be wanting to tango with that kind of unsuited weak ace.
Nigel says, are you both playing at Walsall 25-25? I won't be, and I assume Katie won't be.
I won't be, no. I think this is going to be my last event for 2021, live event, because we've got the online series coming up, which is absolutely massive. The guarantees on it, I think it's 2.5 million in guarantees across the series, with the main event itself being a €200 buy-in for $500,000 guarantee.
It's going to be insane.
So that's coming up. That actually starts on Friday, Friday the 3rd, and it goes on till, I'm not too sure the date, like...
it goes on for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it's a couple of weeks sort of online festival. So I think we're all going to be playing as much of that as we can, and then kind of just having a little bit of a breather, really, for the end of the year and over the Christmas time, you know, the festivities and family sort of time for me, and probably same, I would imagine you, Yeah,
it's going to be the same for me as well. I mean, next year, GUKPT wise, it's going to be very full on. There's going to be 10 events in total, so it'd be nice to have a bit of time at home. I'll be streaming a lot of the Grosvenor Poker Series, which is coming up as well. So I'll be posting about that when we're going to be on. So Ricky Kebab says day 2 is on the same day as the Newcastle game. You'll be leaving early when you're 3-0 down anyway. Well, the plan is, if I bust and don't make day 2, I'll be getting the train straight up to Newcastle. But hopefully that won't be the case.
Kieran Cook asks, are you playing the 25-25 Newcastle, Jamie?
I won't be. I'm in Newcastle quite a lot because obviously we've got season tickets and my family and friends are there, but I actually live in Leeds, so it's difficult for me to get up any more often than I already do. So unfortunately I won't be at this one, but hopefully at future ones. Is there a schedule for the online stuff you mentioned? So it's in the lobby at the moment.
You can also search probably on the website as well.
Yeah, it's not being posted on socials just yet. It was posted in my Discord group, I believe. Let me double check.
It's all of the events are between the 3rd of December through to the 12th of December. There are 111 tournaments in total, so it's massive. There's 2.5 million guaranteed for this poker festival, and like I said, with the main event taking 500,000 guaranteed for it. So yeah, absolutely massive. It's gonna be fantastic. There's, you know, a whole variety of comps.
Yeah, I'll put the
and buy-in levels, and
I've just got a link to the schedule, so I'll put that in the Twitch chat just now. So just one sec.
We'll also get some social media coverage out on that as well, so you can look at all of our socials and find all of the details on it. So Jamie's just posted it there in the chat box, so you can all take a look.
There's a lot. It's all kind of all buy-in levels as well. There's some for 10 euros, there's some 50 euros, there's 200 euros, there's a 1k in there as well, which will be pretty good. So I look forward to playing all of those.
You're welcome. Jamie, was you ever part of the Newcastle Poker Forum? I'm actually a member of that, believe it or not. I'm like the honorary, like they sort of, yeah, they kind of, a lot of the Newcastle guys, the Geordie lads have like adopted me, basically. I'm like the adopted Geordie.
So, 1972 Whittier said that. So yeah, the Newcastle Poker Forum. Basically, I started playing poker when I was 19, which was 2009, and the Newcastle Poker Forum was a big thing then. But I just played like the occasional game in Aspers, which is in the gate up there, and I didn't really get too involved before I had to stop playing poker for a number of years. So I was aware of the Newcastle Poker Forum, and then like I sometimes looked at some of the stuff they were posting and that, but yeah, it wasn't something that I was actively involved in, but I knew a lot of the guys that were.
I think that's kind of the way, isn't it? When you first find poker, you don't really understand all of the behind the scenes dynamics with it. You just literally, you're almost like just focusing on learning the game and playing, and then it's over the coming years. Well, that's what it was for me as well, and I think a lot of people, you kind of find these other elements to poker and the community feel and the, you know, all these different bits and pieces as you go along. But it sometimes takes a little while, doesn't it, to almost locate all of this information and really different groups and stuff.
And then once you are aware of it,
so many
it's breaking into it as well.
Yeah,
isn't it? So,
definitely.
We have played lots together. Thought I knew you played a lot in Aspers. Yeah, I used to play that. On a Tuesday night, there was a £5 rebuy, and I used to go to that almost every week. And on a Wednesday afternoon, there was a student £10 game. I used to go to that. That's where I started out. We've got Robin Poker in the chat. You all right, Robin, mate? How are you doing?
Yeah, I first started out in the £5 streets as well. The £5 rebuys, £10 rebuys. They actually generated quite big prize pools, funny enough, you know, and there were a lot of runners, and it was great back in the day. And then obviously then the game changed to lots of re-entries, and you could like late reg, and the dynamics changed there rather than it being like rebuys, rather, you know, that were the thing back then. So it's been good how the game has progressed over the years, you know.
Potential clash here. Oh no, sorry, Sven got all the way over the S10. Cool. Just saying, Robin Poker in the chat. Hope you had a good time over in Vegas, mate.
Can't see that, where's that?
It's on Twitch.
Oh. Is this not Twitch?
Yeah, that's all the other stuff as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. I can't see that.
Richie Rob in the chat as well. You alright, Richie Rob?
So for anyone joining now, this is the final table of the Six Max event that the day one was played online, and the final 6 then have come to London to play live for the final, which obviously is live streamed, and we are down to 4 players remaining. So they are all in the money. Everyone who came here today for the final has got into the money. A couple of bust outs already, and now they're on 30-minute clock with the blinds 12:24. Oh, that's
yeah. Cheers, Amir. Big rail for Brad and Sven now.
I mean, they're in the money already, so their travel is part of that, I suppose. They know they've locked up money when they got to the final, so then it's on them to travel here and play, just like any other live event. It was always advertised where the day 2 is being played live, so
the way the payout structure is as well, it works quite well because it was a £500 buy-in, but the min cash, which Kevin Warrellow picked up, is 2,400. So it's not just like a normal min cash of 1k.
Yeah.
It's a much bigger min cash than you'd expect in a £500 comp. So
that
kind of offsets it a little bit.
Travel is basically, part of that, and it's not going to be that much. Like no matter where you're from, really. People have travelled all over for it, but some have drove in, some have got the train, some have, probably go back later on today, because it's not going to be where they even need an overnight stay, really. In my opinion, they could, it's not going to go on for too long, this game. So, it's not like they're going to need hotels. So yeah, it's all part of it.
I know at least a couple of them are definitely staying for the grand final, which starts tomorrow. I mean, most people will know, but for those that don't, there's a 2k event. The grand final, day 1 on Thursday, 2 day 1s on Friday, day 2 Saturday, day 3 Sunday. We've been talking about it, and we wouldn't be surprised if it gets 500 runners in this 2k, so it'll be pretty interesting.
Actually, I was speaking to Brad before this final table.
On the final table of the 6 max event, please make your way back to the club room now. That's all finalists in the 6 max, please make your way back to the club room.
Yeah, I was talking to Brad before they started their final table, and he actually played this not realising that the final was, live today in London. He actually had plans to go to the
Prague.
Into Prague. So, but obviously that was cancelled and changed. So he it all worked out all right with him being here for the final. But that could have been interesting. I don't know what he started the day with stack wise. He was one of the bigger ones.
He had a big stack.
Yeah.
It was meant to be the stars have aligned for him to take down the 6 max.
Exactly.
M10 Dembele.
I actually don't know the answer to that. I imagine that, it's like anything. If someone tested positive, then that's it. They have to isolate, don't they? So yeah,
just be the same
exactly
as
that. It's just the same as any other event. It is what it is. We have to all follow the rules and guidelines as well.
Yep. M10 Dembele in the chat. He's another guy that doesn't have to book a hotel for a Saturday night because he always busts on day 2 in GUK PTs. You know Dan Gormley?
No.
You do, Scottish Dan? Always drinking Copperbergs. Yeah, you do. But always goes through day 1 with a big stack. Always busts on day 2. So he doesn't have to book a hotel on a Saturday night ever.
So you can see there that Phil, being the short stack, is still very playable. His stack is 29 big blinds, so plenty of time, plenty of play. No need to just be like shoving, you know, mediocre cards. For me, I think he's probably like the most patient on this table, and he will wait and pick a good spot rather than just feeling. He won't be feeling pressured and short, I don't think. And I think that's what you're saying about Sven's game. Actually, he's kind of learnt a little bit more patience rather than just the attacking aggression throughout every street. He's a little bit more thoughtful, and calculated with it.
He is still a very aggressive player, but in a very good way.
Yes.
But he can rein it in more now, which is really good to see.
Nice hand here for him in the small blind, Jack 10 suited.
Yeah. I'm saying Sven started streaming recently. And he's doing very well actually. He's getting very, very good viewer numbers.
I watched his stream the other night.
Yeah, he's really good, isn't he? But do
you know the interesting thing with Sven's stream is that because he travels around playing live, he actually travels with his streaming kit and takes it to whatever location or stop he's at. So, I mean, he was in Manchester and then he was in Blackpool and now he's in London, and he just sort of like sets himself up in either his Airbnb or his hotel. Yeah. And he just cracks on and streamed. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah,
like this is an interesting turn card with the clubs.
Let's see an 8 of clubs. That'll be interesting. It is a paired board though, so that might slow things down slightly. Although Rob isn't the type to
it's not. And Sven's like increased his stack a bit now and chipped away a little bit of Rob, so they're a little bit closer in.
So it's blind v blind though, so plenty of possible 9x out there. It's just a limped pot as well, so all the 9x is possible. So Sven not seeing the reason to raise, which is good. I like it.
Yeah.
And it breaks. So this is going to be an interesting river spot.
I think Sven's going to bet out.
No, he's checked.
He's checked.
Check, yeah.
I thought he was looking at Rob there to sort of try and get a read on the strength of hand there, and thought he might put a little bet out.
It's just one of those spots where, on some board textures, I think Sven is capable of doing that. But with
that's
this
where his game's changed slightly, actually, because the old Sven probably would have powered that river, bet.
But it's one of those where it's a limp pot. All the strongest hands are still there. It would have. I mean, we can see that it would have, but it's one of those where it wouldn't be the best spot for him to do it, just because with it being a paired board, with all the 9x being out there, with all the full houses being out there, it's just way too much that Rob can have. And as we've seen already,
and Rob blind on blind scenario as well. So
and Rob doesn't like to fold.
No.
In comes Phil. I think Sven will be getting out the way against Phil a lot of the time, and if he does continue, it's probably going to be more of a 3-bet than a call.
Yeah, I was going to say I could see him 3-betting his button here, just purely because it's Phil, just because it is a playable hand, isn't it? And he might be thinking, well, I'll attack Phil in position with the stack sizes, but it might be that he's just lost that pot and he wants to chip away nicely again and sort of. He would have hit, but
I didn't see which card was exposed. There was definitely a card exposed of Sven's. I don't know if it was the 10 or the Jack. This is a board where if the Jack's been exposed, I wouldn't be surprised to see Brad check raise this board. Much less likely that our opponent has the Jack X. We have the gutter. I wouldn't be surprised to see it if it was the Jack X that was exposed. Yeah, he just decides to get out of the way. Okay.
John has written in the chat box that short stack play is an art in itself. I agree with that. I think that's actually undervalued really for how important it is to be able to play short stack, because there are going to be so many times that you might take a hit, or you know, you're going to be short some stage in the comp and grinding it out. But I think Phil's doing it. I don't class him as he's the short one on the table, but you know, and he's got such playable stack. It's when you mentally feel your short stack that I think it's that's the difference, because there's some people that are so used to playing big stack that when they get to like this sort of 29 big blind stack, or they are the short one at the table, that they instantly feel short stacked. Whereas like for me personally, I wouldn't be sat there feeling short at this point, and I would still be able to play that.
You made my life hell on the GUKPT Edinburgh final table. 3 bigs for about 2 hours and just wouldn't bust. Not that I'm bitter or anything, but
yeah, it's I've had to learn to make it one of my strengths of my game, because it's always the case, you know.
It's good. It's a good weapon to have in your arsenal.
It was the jack that was exposed. Oh God, right.
Sven v Mr. Bradley heads up, says bubbles. Could definitely happen. But I think Rob and Phil have something to say about that. They're not just gonna roll over.
I find the online players a lot less chatty at the table. That kind of they're used to just being online, you know, doing their thing. Not maybe obviously Sven as a streamer might interact a little bit more, but they're usually quite happy to just play, not interact.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, they're probably used to being dialed in and focused, but they're like Sven, for example, never shuts up. But Brad, on the other hand, it is quite hot. Yeah, it's quite quiet at the table. So yeah. You Make Me Sick says this woman has a very soothing voice. A nice soothing voice, Katie.
Literally never been told that before. I feel like I've got the worst accent and voice, but
try spending a full week with her.
Can't do nothing. You can't do anything about it.
Oh, thank you, Silver Sock. Appreciate it.
I'm just looking for that. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough spot. But we loved it. Neither of us were actually supposed to be in Edinburgh either, which was like the funniest thing, because it was a very last minute kind of trip that we made, wasn't it? And then when we got like further and further along, we're like, so yeah.
Well, when it got to me firing my last bullet, I wasn't saying that. I wasn't like, oh, this is a great trip, because I had too many bullets in that one, but managed to rescue it in the end.
All came good, yeah.
It did.
I'm not Essex, I'm from Kent. So I get that a lot as well.
He's touched a nerve there, hasn't he?
No, I get asked it only because they're talking about accent. Like it's very similar, I suppose. It's that, you know, southeast counties, but yeah.
Jenna says Brad's a bit hungover. That's probably why he's not too chatty.
Brad said he's not going to be making the grand final. So good luck to both of us. So we're going to try and repeat Edinburgh, but a couple higher.
If Brad's not coming out, my expectation of 450 runners is down to 400.
Once again, final 4 minutes. If anyone wishes to join, please make your way to the nurses now. Thank you.
So we've got seen a flop here with these. Nice flop for Rob. Nothing going on for Brad though, so
yeah, it's just a limp pot, so
you know.
Brad, just get out of the way.
Yeah, he's gonna show. Got the 9.
Lawrence says Kent girls are the best.
Well,
Span says we're history makers.
We are.
We
We
are
are
history makers.
history makers. Apparently so. That's what we got told. We didn't make that up ourselves. We just got told that that was the first time that 2 pros had been on the final table of a Duke APT final. So yeah, it was nice to be part of that, wasn't it?
It was.
We both got our first Scottish flags as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great weekend.
So I just had a message through. Some of you may know, some of you that have just tuned in may not. We are streaming a heads up after this. The final the final of the heads up championship we're going to be streaming, and then after that we have the Haymaker final, which for those of you that don't know, there's been 7 free rolls, all of which had about 2,000 people in each one, and the winner of each one has been invited down to London to play a sit and go with ex-heavyweight champion David Haye, who is also a member of Team Grosvenor. And that is going to be streamed later on around about 8 PM or around about 8:30 tonight.
Yeah.
Now, I've just had a message through saying that you can actually bet on the result of this. There is going to be a Haymaker book. Or book.
Haymaker book.
A book. That was a really good impression again, Katie. Well done. But yeah, there is going to be the option to bet on that. So I'm going to put the link in the chat now.
It's going to put the link to the book.
The link to the book. Let's have a look. Let's have a look, see what the odds are.
I'll translate.
So, the overwhelming favourite at the moment is Rich King.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at that.
He's at 5 to 1.
You're not surprised, surely.
Yeah, he's 5 to 1. Then the other players: Aaron Waterer, Jack Redmond, Kathy Donovan, Sam Barnes, Sebastian Haraff, and Steve Chadwick, not to be confused with Stephen Chidwick, are all 13 to 2.
Which I did double take actually when I saw the name and I double checked. I was like,
full bankroll on that. And also
check him out on the old free roll.
Yeah, and also you can get David Haye at 13 to 2 as well. So everyone but Rich King is 13 to 2, and Rich King is at 5 to 1.
Yeah, decent. I like these added little touches with the
it's good.
The book, the sports book is good.
It's in this
adds a little sweat for the players and the stream, viewers in the chat, and it's quite nice. Yeah,
you got a bet on him, right?
Our very own PK nearly got on that final. Very, very close.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry for showing you that. Actually.
Yeah.
Did it hurt?
Very close. Did well. It's hard to win them free rolls, but
it's easier to come second though, right?
No. Oh, look at it.
Sorry, PK.
You are horrible.
Putting a little bet on.
Oh, you
See
going
who
for?
we can have. I feel like we can't not bet on David.
Yeah,
I feel like we should bet on David. And yeah, I'm gonna bet on David. I've got a bet on Steve Chadwick because it's just got the name for it.
I'm gonna bet on Kathy.
And
Kathy?
Sam Barnes I'm gonna go for.
So we've got a Queen Jack suited in, nice hand in a small blind. Buttoners raised with the King Jack. I don't know if you can hear us when the mic goes over, but I'll carry on. Buttoners raised with the King Jack off, pretty standard. And a call from the Queen Jack suited, and then that brings in the big blind with the 3-4 off.
This is another one that Rob might attack if this goes check bet. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rob start check raising. I'm not saying leading.
Or lead, yeah, there you go.
I'm not saying he should check raise or lead in this spot. I mean, but it's one which he's going to do a fair amount, knowing his aggressive nature and also the board favouring his range. Sven doesn't want to give up though.
Yeah, I wonder if Sven can see through this sort of donk laser.
Has he raised?
Yeah, I like this a lot. He sort of understands Rob's reasoning and dynamic there.
133 entry.
That's a sexy raise, that
yeah,
one.
it
Go
is.
on,
It's
Sven.
also, he knows that he can have. Yeah, nice. I love that. Love that.
And this is something that a lot of people wouldn't find. I mean, Sven's aware that Rob's going to have a lot of leads on this board. He's also aware that he's got 2 overs, the backdoor flush draw. There's a lot of good turns that he can that can favour him. So very, very well played by Sven. Chef Brad says PK is useless, worse than Chef Brad.
No one.
Once again, we had a total of 133 entries. We have 37 players returning for the start.
David Haye to win.
Closed. As soon as we have a
Stephen Chidwick selling action for this.
We will announce how many places we are playing. We have done a draw for dealer button. Dealer button will begin in seat number 2. So please ensure your button is now in seat number 2.
Nice suited king here for Sven to raise the button with.
Break every 2 levels. Your opening
He'll have
blinds
position.
1500 small blind, 3000 for big blind, and 3000 big blind. And see once again, 1500, 3000, 3000.
Brad make it up.
Small players and dealers. Please give it in.
Priced him really. Nice flop for Sven.
Decent.
Nothing for
You're not going to get...
Brad though. He's not going to get any.
No.
Yeah, snap fold. Chipping up nicely.
He is.
He's just taking a lot of little pots down, like uncontested, and he's not having to play out through the streets either. He's kind of just slowly picking up the pots and chipping away.
He's up to 50 bigs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you look at these stats...
He'll be very comfortable at that stack depth as well. I mean, look, is he playing online as well? It's just like...
How's that break?
Not missing an online session.
We are up to the break, it seems.
That is it. So, we will be leaving the booth now, and we'll be leaving the booth.
There we are.
We will leave you back with... is it Jay and Tower coming back in after?
Is it Jay and Tower? Are you coming back in
Probably
next?
Jay and Tower coming back in.
Jay and Tower will be back. But thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
We might be back later. It depends.
I think we are going to be doing a stint in here for the heads up and then for the Haymaker as well. So you'll be seeing us and, well, hearing us a fair few times today, I think. So.
Nice one. Well, enjoy your multiple tournaments on stream today, and we'll catch us all a little bit later. How long's this break, PK? 15-minute break, so we'll be back very soon. See you shortly.
And I still think I'd probably have 15 bracelets, but you never know. I mean, it was a very and you have to remember. I mean, there's lots of times as if you want to be one of the greatest poker players, you always have your money in, generally speaking, with the best hand.
Yeah.
And you take a lot of beats over the years, a lot of big beats, and but I have to you got to look back and realize, well, I had ace 10 of spades. Don Zuin had 2 10s. Steve Lott had 2 deuces, and I hit, and we were all in 3 ways. I wasn't all in, but it was a key pot for me to hit, and be thankful. And that's a good question though, because who knows? But I know this. I was already a professional poker player. I was already having tremendous success everywhere, and I feel like I would have continued along those lines.
Yeah, and continuing, obviously 1989, you win the lot. But your dad wasn't overly enthused about it all, was he? But did Dad know best?
You have to understand, my dad has a PhD. He has a JD. He has an MBA. So, masters, I mean, that's a lot of letters. I mean, I don't know anyone. There's not that many people on the planet that have more letters than my dad. So, of course, now I'm the oldest of 5 and a guy. So, I mean, I was meant to be on this education path. I was meant to be, I was meant to graduate from college, and I never did. And so for him to then imagine and think that far outside of the box, to professional poker player. And in the 80s, I mean, my dad thought that was like a drug dealer, you know? and so, you know, but he saw me have a lot of success, and he decided to come to the 1989 World Series of Poker main event. Surprised me that he agreed to go. He agreed in December. And he flew out and he saw me in, you know, one of the best moments of my life, winning the main event. And, you know, you notice when I throw my hands up in the air like this in the YouTube video, when the last card comes off, like I think the 6 of spades, I go like this or whatever. And I turn and I look, you can see me turning because my dad was not in sight for 4 days. That was a 4-day long tournament. He wasn't in sight during the tournament, but I turned because, you know, and there he is running up the aisle to greet me. And of course, security stops him because there's $1 million in cash on the table in 1989. And I wave him through. And I, you know, within seconds of winning, I was able to embrace my father and give him a great hug. And then I bought a Mercedes Benz. And then I married a doctor. And then, you know, and so, you know, and I'm still happily married 30 years later. So, and my dad's been to Vegas every year, I think, for 30 years to support me.
Turned him. You got him on the side.
Yep. I had to win the main event.
And 1993 in the World Series was probably one of the most insane runs for you. And 3 bracelets in 3 days. It could have been
no, not 3. Not 3 bracelets and 3. So the 1993 is interesting because John Benetti won 2 bracelets that year. And Ted Forrest won 3 bracelets that year. And I won 3 bracelets that year. So, you know, probably they gave away 20 bracelets or something, or 18. And we won 8 of them. It was crazy year, 93. And I won 2 bracelets in 1 day. So that meant that I played the No Limit Hold'em tournament till about 5 in the morning. And I remember my wife was pregnant, and I don't know if she made it till 3 or 4 I think she made it till 3, 4, 5 in the morning. She's way too much of a trooper. And then the next tournament started at noon. And I was just exhausted because I just won a bracelet. I went for a run. There's no way I could sleep. And I entered the Limit Hold'em event. And I played poorly at first, and I remember going into the dinner break. I didn't have a lot of chips, but at least I was able to, you know, I ate a half an hour before dinner break, and I went straight up for an hour-and-a-half long nap. And I came back down, and the next thing you know, I started hitting hands, and I think by 11 o'clock that night, I'd won the Limit Hold'em bracelet. So I won one at, you know, I want to say 4 in the morning, and I won one at, you know, 10:30 at night, and it was just a crazy day. And I remember the next day, before that tournament started, that I'd won the event the night before. And you know, if you want to throw in there, I'd won 2 events on that day, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, 2 bracelets in 1 day, and then I had the chip lead in the main event when I completely fell apart, and that's on me. I mean, I was running good, I was playing great. And the next thing you know, I kind of threw it away. I think it was too much for someone to handle 3 bracelets and the main event.
So the news has just come through from Binions that they've just taken the poker tables out of the card room. It looks like it could be forever. Binions, it must be somewhere in there, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Binions is just such a classic poker, you know, it's just, there's so much history there. And, you know, we've faced this for many, many years, but it was a much more pronounced issue that we had to deal with as poker players for a long time. And it's simply this: slot machines make more money than poker tables. So, you know, I mean, we've heard this hundreds of times starting in the 80s. And so it was really hard to get poker rooms established. There's nothing we could do. A casino would make a decision and they'd be like, all right, we'll have 4 or 5 poker tables. And they'd be like, I know the numbers in the late 90s. Each slot machine makes about $80,000 a day. And so they could put 5 slot machines, 4 or 5 slot machines in one area where you could have a poker table, and maybe 6. And so that's a lot to compete against. And so, when poker broke out and everybody demanded tables, and when it got really hot, I thought that we wouldn't be facing things like this in the future. But listen, I can't blame Binions because it's really hard to have a 9-handed game that you can actually rake right now. And so you've seen some of those contraptions they have for poker tables now, where they have plastic up and it's hard to play 4 or 5-handed. And people are flocking in for those to play, but I'm not sure that's a realistic fix. So post-COVID, I wouldn't be surprised if, Binions did have poker tables back in, but it's a very sad day for poker when Binions gets rid of their poker room.
Yeah. I think my first trip to Vegas was 2004, and it was the final time it was actually in Binions. And obviously, unbeknown to me, that was a little bit of history. I was stood there on the rail watching my first ever World Series event. I can't remember what it was, but not knowing that it wasn't going to be in Binions anymore. That's a little bit of history. Can you remember what's the big poker table that's on the wall where everybody's signed it? Is that still there?
I don't remember. I did go to Binions about 1.5 years ago. I was downtown for whatever reason, and I think I had my sister. Yeah, my sister Ann was with me, and Ann is a Special Olympian, has a bunch of gold medals from Special Olympics, and she and I walked through there, and we saw the pictures on the wall, and and it was kind of nice to see. It was kind of a step back into where I did a lot of business.
There's a lot of history in that room, and like you said, we don't know what's going to happen, but it looks like it might have finished in Binions. Going yourself, the critics. Now, you answer the critics with result after result after result. Does it affect you and the way you play and think, do you know what? This is for one of you.
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand that, I think a lot of people, if you're going to be great, or if you want to be the greatest of all time in your sport, people are going to chop you down at the knees and try to stand on your shoulders, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that's, there's some negativity there. And so, I've been a huge figure looming large in poker for a long time. And I think some people are like, hey, he's getting too much press. He doesn't deserve it. And, some of the younger generation is like, what's so special about Phil? And so, it's a natural progression to try to, and so, but some of them don't handle themselves very well. And the difference is when I came up in poker, I gave a lot of respect to all the people before me. Yeah. Always respected Doyle. Johnny's only 3-4 years in front of me, but always respected Chip Reese and all the great players that came before me. And there was always respect. I never went around, saying bad stuff about them. And, I kind of earned my stripes. So, it's interesting to me that you have this, a bunch of high rollers, and you have say 20 or 30 guys that consistently play in the high rollers, and they proclaim themselves the best players in the world. They aren't. And then the press is incentivized to claim them the best players in the world. And they play with, 10, 15 businessmen. And so they're not the best players in the world. You want to be the best in the world. You want.
How's it going anyway?
Not bad. My first time on this t-shirt table.
Oh, cool.
That's alright.
Yeah, it's my first time on a televised stream as well. It's kind of fun. I've got a bunch of guys watching stuff. It's
that's nice.
It's a good time.
Right, what's this then?
I don't know, we've got to do some work apparently.
No idea what this game is. There's only 4 players left. This is a great time to join.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Oh, thanks to Rick, thanks to Jamie, and to Katie as well. Oh, brilliant. But we've no idea what the game is. We don't know how people have been playing. The tower, Jay. Get out of town. Oh, off you go. See you. But we are here for the UK. We do actually know, really. The UK 6 Max Champions. We lost 2. We lost 2, and a nice little message from Kev Warrilow, as well as he's watching on Facebook. Kev finished in 6th. Big thank you to the Grosvenor Team Pros, managers, dealers, commentators. Great experience. Poker is all the better for people like all those involved in making these events happen.
Lovely words.
On to the next, and thank you very much. Well done, sir. Well done, and I'm glad you enjoyed it, and well done for the small cash and getting through to the live 6 Max, because it ain't easy. There's some good players in that 6 Max online. So well done, one and all. We're at 2, as you can see there on the left hand side. In seat number 4 is Rob Holsworth. Rob Holsworth in seat number 4. We've got Brad Harwood and Phil Green who are left in the mix as well. We've got 4 players playing to a champion, whenever that would be. The heads up is supposed to start at 4. So 4 o'clock the heads up will start on the outer tables, and then we'll get to the final of the heads up. And I don't even know if it's best of 3. If it's winner or it's the best of 3.
Best of 3.
Has it been confirmed?
Yeah, it's been confirmed. So semis is just 1 round, and then the final is going to be best of 3 for the heads up.
Got you. So that'll be on more or less straight after this. There will be a slight break, and then on to the heads up, and then after that it will be the Haymaker Invitational, which there has been opened on Grosvenor Sports
a book
for the Invitational. Pretty hard to do, but they've got one of the players at 5-1 and the rest of the field at 13-2. So if you fancy a little bit of a punt, get on Grosvenor Sport right now for the Haymaker Invitational. It is there. It's been marked up and done.
Sven's chipped up triply stacked from what we saw when we left him, so aware of what occurred, but must have had a good first session.
Yeah, so in the second section he got a double up with 10-8 off seat 4, Rob, and then another big double up, complete double up again, and it was a bit of a right board. It was ace 8, queen 5, ace 8, and Rob was flushing as well, but missed on the river. So yes, it was a big double up for Sven, and that's why I left Katie and Jamie Nixon in charge.
Lots, Michael. The turnout this week that we've had already, I think the bounty could get close to 200 personally. Just from the turnout we've had already this week, we had 132 entries in the high roller, which is now closed off.
Do you want to have a little punt on how many? We'll give you 10 seconds in the chat box. How many day 2 buy-ins did we have of the high roller 2700 with 8 big blinds?
10 big blinds.
10 big blinds.
10 big blinds.
With 10 big blinds. So you get 10 big blinds buying into day 2. £2,700 as a buy-in. How many buy-ins did we get? Not that many.
Jesus, Razor. God, Kev, what do you think?
Well, my line was 7. They ended up with 12. 12. I thought 12 was massive. Yeah, there you go. 5, 7, 3. You know, they're my kind of numbers. 12 buy-ins at £2,700. If you put an average of what we got, 4 to 3 tables left, that's 4 short stacks on each table, if that's how the draw went. Yeah, see? 5, 2, 7, 3. That was my kind of guesses. 12 there were. So the buy's 1,500, 3,000. This is the 6 Max, and this is what they're playing for. Scrolling across the bottom, there's a £500 buy-in online, 51 entries in total.
Yeah, 4.5k overlay in this one, Tower.
Oh, there was, yes. Yeah, the £30,000 prize pool.
I'll have the overs, Kev. 447 on the grand final. I will have the overs on that. I'm going big. Just from what I've seen this week, I'm going big.
Like it.
447 locked. Normal bet, Kev. £20 a piece. I am in.
447 locked in for Jay and for Razor Kev. If the high roller gets 12 with 10 bigs, the 2k for 16 bigs could potentially get 20.
I'll make you right, Tower. I'll make you right.
Span's a bit surprised you went overs.
I'll just going on what I've seen this week, Span. Every single comp I've said to someone how many we get, it's been over the amount I thought. So I'm just going on that. As we see Rob here, river, the flush, looking to check call this river spot. Rob, especially against Brad, who's probably going to be perceived to fire this river very frequently. So there is the check call from Rob, and he's going to take it. So thanks to the guys, 3 of our team pros doing the first session for us. Rick Trigg, Katie Swift, Jamie Nixon, big shout out to them. It's nice to mix it up, hear some different voices once in a while on the stream. Afternoon, Anthony says go on Sven, rooting for Sven McDermott, who's had a very, very good start to this 6 max 3x this stack that he come in with. Going to see him open the button here as he's picked up an ace. So opting to just limp this one. That's to do with the stack of our short stack Phil. Not really wanting to get involved too much with the 2 big stacks. Jack 3, 6, 2 heart board. 4 of clubs on the turn, bring in an up and down for Sven once it's checked through. So Brad actually with the best of it here, and he's going to have decent range advantage on this board. He's going to have the 5 sevens, 5 deuce suiteds, as well as a whole host of 2 pair combinations. So firing for 3k, opting for just south of third pot, and Sven going to come in for the call with his up and down. Ace also working for him here. It's the 8 of diamonds. So Brad going to elect to take his showdown here, checking it over to Sven, who might just choose to check this one back here. Tower ace high can be good some of the time against busted heart draws, maybe some random like king 5, queen 5 that are up and down themselves on the turn. Looks like he is going to opt to bluff. And opts for 6k, that looks like. So putting Brad in a spot here. So fair play to Sven, recognising that his ace high is not going to be good at showdown, and maybe when Brad checks he's going to have a hand that wants to showdown. Maybe expecting Brad to double barrel the times that he does have an air ball. It's a nice pick up there from Sven.
1,500, 3,000 of blinds, 1,500 of ante as well.
So Brad just going to set Phil all in here, blind on blind, and Phil pretty card dead from what I've seen so far today. Gets out of the way with a 6-4 off. Not much he can do but let that one go.
Absolutely not. Guess what we've done in the last couple of weeks?
What have we done?
That lot! Look at that! I've been there everywhere. GUKPT, the mini, the 1250, the main event. That was amazing. That was fantastic. Then with last week, then last week we did the cash game, the playoff, and the midi day 2, which was a huge success. They all got swiped off. We're not doing any more. We ticked it all off, and now for the 3rd week we're here again.
Yeah, today UK Six Max Championship taking place. Then later on we've got the UK Heads Up final, as well as the Haymaker Sit and Go, which there is a book running, as Tower mentioned, online for that. And then tomorrow, concluding through till Sunday, is the big one, the 2K, the grand final.
Friday.
Chris, what's happening Friday, Tower? Christmas jumper.
Yes, Christmas jumper day.
And there's a free meal in the restaurant for the person with the best Christmas jumper.
Indeed.
Have we got a panel? Who's voting for that, or is it
Dan?
Dan, just Dan.
Just Dan. Just Dan. It has been a great 3 weeks, and I am guessing also for next year when the schedule is out. If we look at the dates for next year, who's to say right down at the bottom there? Who's to say we won't be here for the whole 3 weeks for that as well? It has gone so well. The cash was really well received, Jay, and everybody else loving the 10.25. What about making it 25.50?
It was 25.50. It was 10.25.50.
Well, I suppose a bit time it had done, I suppose.
It started as a 10.25.50. They all agreed to it.
And then flick it into the 100 if you fancy it. But yes, that's the schedule for next year as well, which we'll keep flicking back to.
Do you know I had an hour off as well? I went into the back room with Jim.
Did you?
I've only had a little glimpse at the Goliath schedule.
What?
Yep.
Whoa!
Whoa! I've only had a little glimpse of the Goliath schedule, haven't I?
Oh, so we've got J exclusives now, have we?
Can't say anything yet, but it will be coming out very,
I'm
very soon.
amazed they've already got a schedule out. It's the 1st of December.
It looks good. Looks good.
It's the 1st of December, and the schedule looks like it's already been set for Goliath. Wow. The heads up starts at. The heads up starts straight after this.
Yeah, so what's going to happen with the heads up, they'll be playing the semi-finals on the outer tables, and then once we get to the 2 players, after the 6 max finishes, probably be like a 10-minute break, and then we'll be straight off with the heads up.
Yeah, it's...
I'll get told off, Gully. I can't. I'm not allowed. I've been told to keep it on the stump.
So we carry on with Bradders and Rob in hand. King 7-2. Check call from Rob. Checked by both on the turn. Ace of diamonds on the river.
Okay, so the 5-4 getting the check mark here. And now Rob going to bluff at this one after calling on the King 7 deuce board. Like, there's no draws on this board here, Tower, so like ace highs are going to call one, so potentially could have rivered an ace here. It's hard for Brad to find and call, and there is the fold from Brad with the best of it, but just so difficult to call there with a 4 because deuce X isn't going to fire. What else is he calling with on the King 7 deuce rainbow? There'll be ace highs in there which get there on the river, so can't fault Brad for letting that one go. I think we got a fold in that spot. Unfortunately, Rob did just have one of the hands. It was a bluff. Rob, I might be in Luton for the 25-25. I'm not sure if I'm going away or I'll be at home yet, so 50-50, let's say. So Sven under the gun. Raises to 6, and Rob here could potentially free bet this spot tower, especially with the stack size of Phil in the big blind. Sven's not going to want to be busting before, but flattened also perfectly fine on the button. Either way, we are going to be continuing with the Queen 10 suited with position on the opener.
Flop time. 7-2-3.
So fairly dry board texture here, and Sven opting to check his wheel draw with overcard, and Rob's going to take a free one with the 2 overs backdoor flush draw.
Yamo says, are you 50-50 for the 25-25?
Yeah.
Once again, we had a total of 133 entries. We have 30.
So it goes check, check, 8 of hearts on the river.
Yeah, and Sven's going to get the check mark, assuming this gets the showdown. And bluff at it, so Sven going to take it with the ace high, which is good. Afternoon, Paul Fletcher tuning in.
Fletch. The payouts will be scrolling across the board right now, as you can see there, Joel.
Talamir, I was watching a stream a few weeks back and you guys were working on maybe getting another series in Scotland in December. Is there any updates on that? I don't think in December, Tal. What I can tell you actually, another little exclusive I had
here we
from
go.
Jim.
I'm not having this.
25s next year. These are this year, but next year we are looking to do the same as Leeds and Berry New Road, but up in Scotland. I think for the 25s up in Scotland, it's going to always be Aberdeen, Glasgow, and Edinburgh.
Do we know when?
Combine? No, but Jim said he's working it, putting it all together.
Half an exclusive.
Yeah, half an exclusive, but it will be coming. It will be coming. I think in January actually. I think it's in January. I saw it on the sheet. So there will be next year, hopefully in January, Tal, there'll be an event for all of Scotland.
Absolutely, Gully. You're not wrong. Can't believe it. I just went into the back with my mate Jim. So see another flop, 8-8-9.
Yeah, both players with decent holdings here, four-handed. But Brad, very, very strong hand, four-handed. Ace Queen opening button, and check from Rob. And Brad opting to check the Ace Queen behind to the turn.
4 diamonds on the turn.
Yeah, if Rob checks again here, Tower might see a really small bet from Brad with his Ace Queen. May think it's going to be the best hand a lot of the time. Once Rob has opted to check twice, maybe expects Rob to continue with a lot of 2-pair hands, but opts to check behind once more, just trying to get to showdown with the Ace Queen high, but Rob rivering the best of it on this river. So incoming value, you suspect.
He has been the active man of the day as Rob Holworth, but it does go check the showdown value with a 10. Prize pool scrolling across the bottom of the screen right there. £500 buy-in, 51 entries, 30,000 prize pool. Small overlay to the event. £10,000 first prize. 6,600 for second. And we've got £3,300 locked up as Paul Rigg was in fifth for 2,700. And Kev Warrilow, who posted a nice little thank you on Facebook, got 2,400. Well, the David Haye game does have a book on Grosvenor Sport if you want to check out all the players. One person up at 5-1, the rest at 13-2.
Yes, there is a book, Jay, for the Haymaker. We are running a book on Grosvenor Sport for the 8 players. I guess David's included in the betting, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Mr. Hayes.
Yeah. Did they do round knockout as well? There you go. Trigger's getting out the. Look at that. New Valley.
Yeah. There he is, look, getting the waters for everyone. He was actually part of when, because we're on a half-hour delay, I was in the card room at the time. He's passing them out to all the tables on the high roller.
Good lad.
Keeping everyone hydrated. So it's Fem fires with the sixes and Brad just getting out of the way with a jack high. Scorp says those prizes don't add up. Prize pool of 30k, but payouts add up to 29,500.
Oh, okay, no, I've never checked that.
I think that might have something to do with. Was it only the final 6 got in the money, or was it 7? I think there might have been a cash.
Oh, was there a cash for the bubble?
Maybe, I'm not sure, but that can be the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Let me add them up myself.
Yeah,
let's have a look. What we got?
The bubble would have been. I think there was a payout for 7.
There's obviously a 4.5k overlay.
Yeah. Ah, I've been told it's because first is 10,500.
Ah, okay, there you are.
There you go, nice one. Yeah, got instant service. First is actually 10,500. We will type it in the list and make sure it comes scrolling across the bottom very shortly. There you go, sorted. Tom is already on it. He says your payout structure is wrong. It's 10,500 first prize. So thank you very much for that. We will get it sorted.
So back to the action. Rob with a pair here opening the button. Just going to continue. And Phil, no option but to get out of the way.
So it's 10,500 first place. Well done, boys, for sorting that out and getting it thing. I would never even thought to add it all up, but there you go. 10.5 for winning, and the trophy. Sven with the boots. Sven's a bit of a techno, is he? Techno. I used to like to listen to drum and bass, believe it or not. Bit of drum and bass. We need to get Sven going with the old techno. Techno. Sven, former DJ. Oh, awesome. Good stuff. Me too. I can rack a 70s party up, ladies and gentlemen. Were there any techno in them days? Don't think there was. Bit of a DJ, Sven. Awesome.
It's going to be interesting when it comes back to Brad Tower, because he's going to be getting just under 2.5 to 1 on the call here in the 10-8 of diamonds.
7,115 places prize and 5,544 min cash.
It's only a sub-7 big blind shove, so in they go, and
in they go.
Phil's going to have the best of it here.
Yeah, he's not doing it lightly, that is for sure. We'll get to find out what they are. Brad has got 10-8, the one gappers.
Ace-3 for Phil, so very live here, Brad. The 10-8 of diamonds.
Do we get the double up for Phil?
Well, yes.
Wow. Wowzers.
Wow. And that is going to be hard to win from here from Phil.
Is.
Running 2-pair, running. It's usually the usual, just the refresh, and we're back.
Are we back already?
Yep.
Yeah, back already. Sorry about that. If you just missed it, Phil Green has just been eliminated. ABC Geriatric has gone out the door. Ace-3 all in pre, 10-8, 10-8 flopping 2-pair. Ta-ra.
Something like that, Jakey.
Yeah, they did not river a jack for the straight and the chop. They didn't. So we're down to 3. And just to let you know, I've only just realised, because now I can see it, Rob Hallworth has got the best Christmas jumper on I think I've ever seen.
Now I have. That's what I can read, Tower.
When we get the front view on.
Jay won't have seen it.
Jay will not have seen it. Do you not? Oh no, maybe not. Maybe not. Jay will not know what it. Jay will not understand Rob Hallworth's jumper, but you have to read it, and it's a Christmas jumper. We need him to sit up straight so we can get Jay on the old quiz Jay on the 1st of December. Sven with the 9-8, Brad with the 2s, out the way. Can you read it?
Now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho.
Yes. Best Christmas jumper I've ever seen.
What's it referenced?
Anybody in the chat box? Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Haven't seen Die Hard.
The original Die Hard.
Haven't seen it.
Nice one, Jory. One of my favourite movies of all time.
It's not very colourful though, is it? Full Christmas jumpers had to be colourful.
Yeah, the Nakatomi Plaza. John McClane turns up at his wife's Christmas party, unannounced, and they were just getting robbed.
So a bit of action here, both players catching a piece, middle pair versus top pair. Rob with the best of it, and position versus Sven after complete and a check pre-flop. Two on the river.
Rob must have won a big one when he tuned out. 10-8.
Really nice value there from Rob on the end.
Yeah, 10-8 for Rob. Phil had ace-3 all in pre for his final 35,000, and Rob flopped 2-pair. Good afternoon, one and all. We are live for 3 events today. They were scheduled to be 12, 4 and 8. We started the 6 mags at 12:30 and we're down to 3. The heads up will start at 4 o'clock in the club, and they'll be playing on two tables. Is it one table with 2 dealers on each side, in seat 1 and seat 9?
Yep.
Yeah. And then they'll play to a final, and then the final will be streamed. So we don't know what the break will be and how long it will be, but as soon as we get there, we'll let you know. But we're 3-handed now, as Phil Green went out.
Ace 9-9 rainbow, so both players whipped here, and Rob going to show aggression and going to take that. So Rob over half the chips in play now, 3-handed. Was our bubble boy in the NPL package.
Yes, very unfortunate. He got 7 deuced. He got whipped. So we've got jam sandwich, pro beers, and ookle bookle.
Ookle bookle.
Who are we going to see next year? What was the online name that we've been rooting for?
The Dinga Donga.
The Dinga Donga is making an appearance in January. Afternoon, Nathan, watching on Facebook. Hope you're well, Nath.
How you doing, Nathan?
So we'll give you updates on the high roller during the day. Not streaming the high roller. Well, not this year anyway. there's an 18-day festival next year to finish off the season.
So both players opted to check. No cards being registered for Brad, so unaware of his holding. Sven does catch a pair of deuces, but it is 4 to a flush board, so expect this one to go check fairly often. Club on the river for a chop. There's 7 of hearts. So now Brad looking to fire here. Sven just not sure how he's going to be able to call with the ace deuce, but he's thinking about it. It's a pot size bet, so it is pretty polar this from Brad. Like if Brad didn't have a club and he had a 6-7 jack or king, you expect him never to go this size. So pretty polarising bet this from Brad, and that's why we've seen Sven call just with a deuce. And Brad probably going to have a club, at least the queen, well, at least a 10 of clubs probably on this board, well, 5 of clubs. Just thought Sven could never have a flush and went for maximum, and Sven paid it off with the bottom pair on 4-liner to a flush. Maybe thought Brad would only opt for that size with the larger clubs in his hand. A nice value on the end there.
If you click that link that I've just posted in the chat, that will take you to the Haye Maker final knockout and the 8 players that are on there, and you can have a little punt on Grosvenor Sport. Get yourself in. The link is there. Have a little flutter on the final of the Haymaker. 7 rounds of, I'm still absolutely devastated that there's a spare seat. There's still time. There's still time. Still had no confirmation.
We have got yet. 4 hours before you get that message.
I'm not in the betting.
You're not in the betting?
I checked.
We still might get that message.
Man, saying that, I couldn't know. I go straight to evens. So. 8 in the Haymaker Knockout Invitational. That's on at schedule for 8. I'll let you know. Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun. Go, Sven. Sven! So yeah, check out the link above there, and that is for the Haymaker Invitational for the final 8 players in that. 13-2 for the field, apart from Richard King, who's 5-1. So the rest, even David A is 13-2. How many players are gonna? How many people are gonna have a little punt on David A actually winning it? Sam Barnes. That's not Stephen Chidwick, is it?
Nah, it's not. It's not Stephen Chidwick. I can confirm.
40 million in live earnings, Stephen Chidwick. No, it's not.
I can confirm. Stephen Chidwick will not be playing the 8 PM Haymaker as the 6, 8, 10 flop rolls off. So both players whiffing this one. Brad still with the best of it with King High after opting to raise his option out the small blind. So now comes in for a check. And Sven with just Jack High in this situation. Very rarely going to be good versus Sven's open. Opts to fire and gets Brad to fold the best of it. Nice pick up from Sven with the worst hand.
Show you what's happening for the rest of the year. As we know, we're getting very close, but there are still a couple of side events to get involved with as well. Sven, King, Queen in the small.
Yeah, so Sven
15-3.
Just sub 30 bigs here for Sven. Here's the short stack. King, Queen, free-handed, strong hand. Especially versus the hands Brad's meant to be opening on the button. We're going to be crushing a lot of those. So might even see Sven free bet this spot, tower. Might even be thinking about jamming it. It's just going to come in for the call. Keeping the pot small. We are on a really good structure, 40-minute clock, so there are plenty of time to pick our spots.
Six, 7, 6. Up and down for Brad, puts the ball for Rob.
That just pings it.
Pinger, dinger.
Now Rob going to fire with his up and down. 8 on the river would be interesting. So Brad here. Obviously not going anywhere towers, whether he wants to call, keep his range wide or come in for a raise now. Rob will plausibly have plenty of 6x after defending in the big blind.
And a call. Sven out of the way. Jack of spades on the river.
So now is Rob going to come in for double barrel here with just 9 high. Going to be aware, never going to be good at showdown. It looks like he is opting to fire. What looks fairly big tower. Is that a 25k chip in there? 30k from Rob. And we're going to have a change of chip leader after this pot. Brad with the 8-5 suited. Massive hand here, free-handed. But being the button opener and checking back flop, like So hard for us to have a straight here, and comes in for the raise, and just a snap fold from Rob. So very nice flat from Brad there on the turn. Got an extra 30k value we wouldn't have got if we elected to raise.
Rest of the festival coming up right now. We are on the 1st of December, as you can see there, with the 3 events. There's also the bounty that's on at 6. £330, £150 every time you knock somebody out. And then Thursday we've got the grand final satellite cash out as well. That'll be going on at 9 o'clock, as well as the Haymaker. And then tomorrow it is the start of the grand final. There's also satellites running Saturday. There is a G400 at 2 o'clock, and the last call. Well, the G400 is just a one day. It's just a one day, isn't it? Yeah. And then the final event, as well as crowning a champion of the grand final. The last call, £200 in, starting at 2 o'clock, and we'll be crowning a champion at some time during the evening. It has been a fantastic 3-week festival. It's been good to do different events for the first time, and long may it continue.
Yeah, I like it as well, Span. Big fan of it out of the big blind. We're going to have the 6X, we're going to have the straights, and as well, Bradley checked back the flop, so maybe thought he was a lot weaker than what he was in that situation, but can't fault the line, unfortunately, just running into the top end of our opponent's range, and it happens sometimes.
King high flop, Rob checks. 3 on the turn. Rob checks again. So we check the flop.
Yeah, really nice.
We check the turn
from Rob here. This double check with the King 7.
Makes a call. And a 6 of diamonds hits the river, pings all sorts of straights and flushes and what have you, but Rob always in front, ping the straight on the river. Why are you taking off on that river? 3 players left. Uncle Bookle, Jam Sandwich and Pro Beers. They are the 3 players left. If you were playing the 6 max online, Rob Hall with the Jam Sandwich, Pro Beers, Bradley Harwood, and Uncle Bookle, Sven McDermott. And Sven, with the final 6, came in as the short stack. He went double.
Raise and take for Rob with a Jack 7 suited.
Queen 4 for Brad. 300. The blinds now at 2-4. Sven down to 20 bigs.
Just gives Rob a walk, which understandably with the 10-5 off. So Sven suited queen here. Expecting to be continuing this one.
Yep. Raises it up. Opens to 8.
Yeah, Brad suited jack. Gonna come in with a defend.
Suck to jack. As wide as you can get. The old jack deuce. Queen high flop. Should be it. Interesting if Sven checks.
Well, this is a good top pair that we can incorporate some checks in with tower, but Sven just opting to fire, which is fine as well. Always important to have some top pairs in your check back range. You can't just always bet top pair. It's all about mixing it up, keeping it difficult for your opponents to range you. Got prize pool win for the high roller as well, Tower.
Go on then.
Just under 100 grand going to first. £97,000, 500 going to first place in the high roller.
Jeez. Just under 100 bag. Wowzers, wowzers, wowzers.
So Rob here with the 6-3 suited. Opts to open, and Brad just going to elect to call with the ace-8 suited. Not opting to 3-bet this one, probably because Rob has us covered, and Sven's sitting there sub 20 bigs, obviously looking for ladders ourselves. Want Rob to bust before us as the Jack 10-5 rainbow board rolls out. So Rob here sitting nut low bottom of his range with a 6 high. Never a bad thing to come in for one small bet with this one. We've also got plausible backdoors in terms of clubs and fours, but I'm choosing to check this. Maybe worried about the calling range of Sven in the small blind. Maybe he thinks he's going to have a lot of these Broadway holdings that connect very well on a Jack 10 board. So Brad checking it over to Rob, who will now be firing for sure after picking up flush draw and the ace, which is perceived to be better for our range, being the opener on the button. And Brad here just going to be calling tower. Want to keep some bluffs in of our opponent. And I think on most rivers, if Rob does elect to double barrel, we're going to see Brad call off, and unless it's an extortionate sizing.
Pairs up on the river, 10 of diamonds.
Might give up on this river tower. Like, incredibly repping a 10.
Yes, check.
Like, yeah, it's a good check, well-timed check. Like, Brad will have some 10x there, and the thing is, like, our check back 10x on the flop are probably going to check quite high frequency on the turn, so once we do come in for value, rep in an ace or better in that spot. So maybe thought better of it, and good thing he did, because Brad would have been making the call for sure. The ace is up.
3 players left in the 6 max. Just been told there's nearly £100,000 in the eye roller to the winner. And the heads up will be starting very shortly. When it gets to 2, they'll be live streamed on this table when this has finished.
So Brad opening Queen 9 here on the button, and a small pair in the small free-handed 20 bigs. This is probably going to go in from Sven a lot of the time. No, he's just going to call. He's free bet, opted to free bet the deuces for what looks like half his stack. So it's effective all in from Sven anyway. So we're off to the races here, and we could be heads up just like that. Rob with the ace king, Sven with the deuces. It's a flip. Yeah, 20 bigs and open on the button with free-handed deuces is just, a lot of the time we're just going to see a shove, but Sven opted to put in over 50% of his stack.
2 still in front, but even more outs to fade.
Yeah, clean. Fading ace, kings and 10s.
Ouch, ouch,
and that leaves us one out, it being the king of clubs. We need the deuce of spades. Deuce of clubs not working.
No, it's not.
It's the 9 of hearts, so we are going to lose Sven McDermott in third place.
Bokel has gone. Bokel. Now we're going to be having a couple of minutes break. Time to get a coffee, and we will be back with the final of the 6 max very shortly indeed. We'll leave the pictures on, so I don't know how long the break actually was.
I think it was
7 minutes.
Around that.
7 minutes. We'll leave the pictures on. Apparently it's 7 minutes to get to the chip count sorted out. They'll be playing in seats 3 and 7. Well done, Sven. Well done, Sven. He's just got himself a nice little prize. So well done to him. We're leaving the table on. What we'll do is Jay's just gone off for a quick coffee, and as you do, as you can see there, the pictures will be players will be moved into seats 3 and 7. We are heads up in the 6 max, and who's going to win this one then? Who's it going to be? We've got Sven McDermott just finishing in 3rd, Rob Hallworth sat in seat number 3, and Bradley Harwood sat in seat number 7. Who's going to win it? Who's going to take it down? We'll leave them to it. I'm going to get myself a cup of tea as well, so I'll have a quick wander. We'll leave the pictures on because we don't. Jay said it was 7 minutes, so if it is 7 minutes, then they'll be back in 5. So we will leave the pictures on. Going for a quick coffee myself. Back with you for the final of the 6 max. And considering both players have got 70 big blinds each, we could be here for a classic. See you back in 2 minutes. Well, it's a good job I didn't go for a coffee. It's a good job I didn't go for a coffee because they've gone straight on with it. Jay says, I said to Jay, how long? Jay says, oh, it's 7 minutes. It's 7 minutes. Well, let's crack on. That was definitely not 7 minutes, but the dealer's not dealt yet, so they could be hanging around for a couple of minutes longer. Let's do it. Rob Hallworth and Brad Harwood. Well done, one and all. 7 minutes. Did you count your 7 minutes?
Well, it was. And then I put the stream on my phone, and I saw my boy sitting down, and I was straight back.
Good lad, you could have took 7 minutes. We have 70 big blinds each, I do believe. We'll get an exact chip count very shortly, but it might be 2 or 3 minutes before they actually start dealing. But what is it? Oh, too posh around here. That.
Sure. Get yourself just got a battery pack. All right.
Yeah, I'll go on. Right, they're off. Heads up. Let's do it. Who's going to win? Rob or Brad? Blinds are 4,000. There'll be no running ante. Heads up. Or is it? Oh, there is. 689 is the first flop of the heads up battle. The 6 match playing 10,500 and 6,600. Take it down, Rob, says Tom. Hello, Tom. How are you? How's Bristol? Hope you well, Tom. Come and see us sometime.
So first one goes the way of Brad. Interesting, Rob opted to limp the ace-king there. Obviously going to opt for some limps in his strategy, so he wants some strong hands in there as well. Look at that. Nigh on identical stacks.
Wow. Rob is the Hans Gruber to Brad's John McLean. Hey dear.
So Rob opted into limp again with the A7. And going to fire once Brad checks him. Brad shouldn't be going anywhere here, Tower, making a pair. Heads up ranges are going to widen significantly. Hand strength's going to increase. So won't see players folding bottom pair to one bet, that's for sure. 7 of hearts on the turn. So Rob now making the best hand. Brad picking up flush draw to go with his bottom pair here. So Rob opting to double barrel, 10k into 16, so around 2/3. So now Brad will make the call. To the river. It's the 10 of spades, so check mark for Rob here. Rob's going to take it with the A7.
Check it. There's a high roller event FT on the stream after this, says Peng. No. After this, we have the heads up online championships that have come live, down to 4 in that one. And then we have the Haymaker Invitational starting around 8 p.m. with 7 players and David Haye playing the £20,000 added event that was online. Win a Haymaker free roll and come and play with David Haye on the 1st of December, and today is the 1st, and that is what they will be doing. So that's our 3 streams for today.
Yeah, heads up's already going, the semi-finals already underway. So Brad opted into limp button with a 10 of 3, and Rob raised it up the ace deuce. Brad gets out of the way. Interesting, the button limp with the 10-3. Brad might have come in with a strategy to continue 100% on the button, which is perfectly normal heads up. So ace king of hearts for Rob on the button. Saw him limp the offsuit variety of this hand, but looks like he's opening this one. And Brad defending the jack-8 off in the big blind. Or a flop of 4, 7, 6 rainbow. And, Brad might be flinking about a lead here. With 2 overs gut shot. And does choose to lead this board. For 8k. And Rob not going anywhere with the ace-king, 2 overs, backdoor heart draw. We are heads up. So we're going to make the call. So this is an interesting turn card because this gives Brad double gut shot here with the jack-8 of hearts, and Rob's turn a nut flush draw with his 2 overcards. So if Brad opts to double barrel here, Rob's not going to be going anywhere. And the thing is, if the river does roll off a heart, it may be a credible card for Brad to come in firing with the jack of hearts in his hand in this particular scenario. But he goes large here, 3/4 pot from Brad on the turn. And Rob with ace-king of hearts here. I'd be very surprised if we saw him fold this one in a heads-up situation. But the problem is that's going to be going through Rob's mind here is we can just be drawing to a heart, but our hand just too strong to fold in this situation. Maybe thinking there's some reverse implied odds on the ace and king rivers versus some 2 pairs and straights that Brad can already have. Well, Brad gets there on the end with the jack. A nice little 8 in our hand as well, removal to 8-9 and the flop straight. But got to be thinking about the range of hands that Rob calls our lead on the flop, then 3/4 turn bet. So I'm actually not sure whether Brad is going to come in for value here, or whether he's going to check to try and induce some bluffs from Rob perhaps. Got a nice hand to check call in this heads up situation. It looks like he has just opted in for straight value. Looks like half pot, so 50k. Well, this is an interesting spot here for Rob because we don't expect Brad to go bet, bet, bet with a 7 or a 6 in this spot. So once he goes bet, 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 like the worst hand from our perspective, expect him to have is probably 2 pair. And it's hard to make 2 pair. I know he's got a jack, he's rivered the top pair in this situation, but that's what's going through Rob's head now. That's why he's thinking about heroing this one with ace high, like we beat some random 5x, some queen 5 suited, king 5 suited, these type of hands, some random 8x that turn double gut shots. So that's why Rob has the cogs turn in this particular spot. Like, never expects Brad to go bet, bet, bet with like a 7 or a 6 that he may elect to lead some of the time. So Rob really thinking about finding the hero here with just ace high. And I understand why. I understand exactly why. Because what's he supposed to have? This line looks a lot like 2 pair plus, and very hard to flop 2 pair.
Doesn't like folding ace king, but he has done.
So Brad takes the chip lead.
First to make a little bit of a move, Brad Harwood against Rob Hallworth. Heads up for the 6 match championship title.
So button open from Brad. Nice one to open. Suited Broadway, Queen 10. And Rob with a suited hand himself, 8-5 suited in the big. So Rob flopping flush draw here with the 8-5 of spades. Not going to be going anywhere, facing the continue from Brad on this king high board.
Eight of diamonds on the turn.
Yeah, it's a nice turn this for Rob Tower. Picking up a pair to go with our flush draw. And could definitely see him value bet this now. Well, he's opted for 10k, has chose to value bet. And Brad calls it off with Queen High. Fair enough, I understand the thought process of the Queen High call there. We beat the 5-4s, the 7-5s, all the gut shot up and downs on the flop, as well as spade draws. So Brad probably thinking more weighted towards those hands than he is to a king or even an 8 in that particular scenario.
Afternoon, Ian. Ian Bosley, the bozzer, watching in Vegas. Living the dream. Fantastic pictures of a nice meal with Jensen Button last night with the missus. So looked fantastic. Boz, have the best time, and I'm sure we'll see you in 2022 with the sticks as well. Enjoy Vegas. And if you see any $5 craps tables in Vegas, can you let me know where they are? I'm trying to plan for 2022. Thanks very much. Afternoon, Gary. Hope you had the best this week in London. Chunks up here, is that, Gary? Chunks. Be able to buy a street in Blackpool with what he's made this week. Yeah, the bounty starts at 6. £330 bounty. Knock out 2 people, you got your money back. You're free rolling for the evening.
Lovely turn this for Brad, picking up flush draw and up and down. But 8 on the river gives Rob the best hand, and Queen High will be good some of the time. Heads up situation, but he's going to be faced by a bet from Rob. So he goes huge here, 45k into 42k from Rob Hallworth and Brad. We've already seen him call Queen High once. And it's a very polar size in here from Rob. Like, don't expect him to ever choose this size with a 10, so probably king or better, and that's what's going through Brad's head. We do beat some hands like 6-7 double gutted, 9-7 up and down, Jack-9 up and down, but doesn't choose to call with Queen High again. Would have got the bad news if he did.
This is going to be a battle.
We're 70 odd big steep tower, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
When are we releasing the Goliath schedule? Probably not till next year, when everything's finalised and ticked off. There are a couple of... Apparently, Jay has got a bit of inside information. Go on then, Jay. Go on, what you got?
I've just had a chat with my old mate Jim about next year, and he's like, he wanted me to see. He wanted me to see, give me an opinion on the schedule, and that's all it was. But it looks good. It looks good.
Is there a ladies' event there? Is there a Joker's Wild? Yes. Is there a main event?
There's a main event.
No,
yeah, I can say that. I can say that one on straight. Yeah, there will be a main event at the Goliath.
Oh, brilliant. No, and over the weekend, what we will have released is leg 1 of 2022. That'll have been finalised, and we'll be able to show you that on the stream deck regarding the events of leg number 1. Don't know if there's 2 Omaha events just yet. This, if you're watching, is for the title of the 6-match championships that was online. They stopped when they got to 6. They'd all locked up £2,400, and they came live to play the event here in London. After this event, there is a heads-up event, which is played all the way down to 4. I don't know how many played in the heads-up battle. heads-up tournament to start with. I think it was something like 45. So, and they got down to 4. They stopped, and they're here in London to battle it out. And then at 8 o'clock, or around 8 o'clock, there is a David Haye Invitational, where David and 7 other players will be playing for £5,000.
So ace-9 suited for Rob on the button. Chooses to call again. And a bit of clash of hands here. Heads up. 2 very, very strong hands here. Heads up. Ace-Jack and ace-9 suited. So Rob going to limp call. Gets a great flop for his hand on the 8-5-4 2-heart board, and being the completer on the button and then calling a raise, probably more favourable for us in terms of range as Rob, and going to come in for a bet here with our nut flush draw versus the ace-jack of Brad. Still expect Brad to call once here. Tower, ace high, heads up, strong hand, will be good at showdown some of the time. And the thing is, we expect Rob to credibly represent this board a lot of the time, just calling our raise. So 10 of diamonds on the turn. Now has Rob got a double barrel in him? That is the question. Or is he going to take a freebie? Because you expect Brad, oh, he's already checked, so Brad has checked over to Rob. Pretty normal, just playing him float after Rob had the better lead on the flop, and this is nice from Rob here with the ace-9 suited. Can fold out some stronger ace-x. Gets the best of it to fold. Fair play there from Rob with the ace-9 of hearts. So I think that's leveling chips again basically for these two. Very similar. There you are, 68 and 69 bigs. 70 bigs just under effective. Here we are, Gary. I'll put it up for you.
What's that?
This is the schedule for today.
Look at that. Woo woo!
So this is the 6 max. We're heads up in this. After this, straight to the final of the UK Heads Up Championships at 8 PM. The Haymaker sit and go. And then tomorrow is when the grand final main event starts. 2K eyeing for that one. We're looking forward to that. And we've got live coverage all the way through till Sunday, when we will crown an eventual champion.
All good.
Brad opening the button with the 7-4, raises to 8,000. And flops middle pair, so opts to continue. And Rob going to make the call with Queen High. So 6 on the turn, so interesting card. Does bring in a up and down straight draw here for Rob. Brad picks up gut shot to go with his second pair on the flop. Three of spades on the river. And check, check, and the 4 of Brad. Gonna take that one. Not the best, Barney. Cash in the mini, bubble the small PLO, and no good in the big PLO.
As you can see, 71 bigs, 66 bigs. Two very, very good players. Rob Allworth on the left with the best Christmas jumper, and Brad Harwood on the right.
He's starting for Brad, raising it to 8k, and Rob, nice one to defend 10-9 in the big blind. I hope so, Danny, I hope you're right. Save it for Vegas next year. I don't mind bricking everything up until then. I would take it for that. So Ace, King, Queen, Rainbow board. And Brad flopping top pair. And opts for pot sizing here, Tower. So mixing the sizing up. I think if he sights down there, we might have seen Rob call once with his particular holding, but can't do much versus a pot size bet without holding out the way.
73 bigs, 64 bigs. Nothing's happening this hand. Would you like a tea?
Yeah, I'd love a tea, Tower. That sounds like
I already know there's nothing happening next hand.
Okay.
I've foreseen it.
Okay.
Right. Cup of tea?
Yes, please.
Cup of tea.
So Rob opting to complete on the button check from Bradley in the big blind. Ace, King, Jack, all diamond board. So Rob flopping second pair here and going to fire. And not much we can do with the 7-4 of clubs as Brad, except that, get out of the way. Yes, Gary, the Haymaker does start at 8 p.m. Live on stream from 8:30, but in club it starts at 8 p.m. Don't forget, guys, as well, if you are tuned in, make sure you give us a follow, Facebook and Twitter at Grosvenor Poker, and for all your live stream coverage /GUKPT on YouTube and Twitch. It's interesting because it looks like Brad's opting to raise the button a lot more frequently than Rob, who's more frequently limping the button. So kind of a contrast in pre-flop strategies perhaps from these two players. And what a flop this is for Rob, just flopping the stones heads up with Queen Jack. Don't come any better than that. 10 of hearts on the turn. That was quick.
I'll tell you what, mate, no messing around on this end.
Thank you.
Proper tea, boy. Just that somebody's had all hobnobs. PK. Ate them all. All hobnobs went. Cup of tea, rock and roll. I tell you what, we know how to live. We know how to do it. Run.
Do we know if we're still in a 40-minute clock tower, or has it been shortened?
It should be shortened. I don't actually know if it's been... I actually don't know. It should have been shortened to a 30-minute clock when they got 400. But I don't know. I don't know if it's been implemented. I don't actually know. I don't know these things.
Yeah, Brad gonna have to call once here with ace high heads up. Does make the call. A lovely little double barrel candidate for us as Rob here, just sitting here with 7 high. This 6 on the turn gives us a lot more equity within the hand So expect to see the double barrel incoming here. We're not going to be good at showdown with the 7 higher, so try and take it away from Brad now, and that's exactly what he does. Opted big as well, 20k into 16k, so opted for 1.25x there on the turn. Yeah, so Brad choosing to complete the 10 deuce, happy to go post.
8 queen 8, what's the 8? Queen 10 deuce.
8?
I'm thinking of cards that are coming on the turn. That's what I'm doing. Thinking the word.
He knew there was late coming on this ball. That's why he said that.
Oh, obviously, I went running to the table 30 minutes ago. Oh, you couldn't make it up. Good old Adrian.
1 in 13 shot. I would give you 13 to 1 on that if you wanted it.
Oh dear, brilliant. So the 6-match final is now at heads up. The heads up. Do we do a proper high five then, a bit? Oh dear. The heads up battle has begun on the outer tables. We'll be streaming the final when we get to it, and we get a champion of this one. The David Haye Invitational. I think it starts at 8.
So Rob opening the ace-4 of clubs and 2 decent hands clashing here, heads up. We haven't seen a free bet yet pre-tower, and the first one's going to be incoming here from Brad. So this is the first free bet pre-flop of this heads up battle. And Rob with suited ace-4, I'd be very surprised if he did choose to let this one go tower. I think we'll see him call and take flops in position almost always. And beautiful flop this for Brad with the ladies. Middle set for him. Unfortunately, going to be difficult to get paid from Rob's specific holding here. Odds for 18k into 72, so quarter pot exactly from Brad. Notice Brad's sizing's always like spot on with either quarter, third, 2/3. Obviously, think he must be aware what's exactly in the pot, as you should be.
So no, the high roller is not being streamed. We've got the heads up championship that was online, and then we have the David Haye Invitational. 6 max down to 2. Rob Hallworth on the left, Brad Harwood on the right.
So raise and take for Rob with the old whip on the button. Yeah, it could be a long one, Kev. Could actually be a fairly long one, this.
Yeah, what's the average stack? 60 bigs, 70 bigs?
I think 68.5 bigs, the average stack.
Gary McGaffney's on his way down to the heading for the bounty. Good luck, Gary. What's the password for the Haymaker? There are no more Haymaker events. This is the live final, Wesley. Unless there's an online event that we don't know. The Haymaker is live here in London. 7 winners of the weekly online free rolls playing a live final with David Haye himself. 9-9 flop, 9-4-8. Check, check.
So Brad should be calling once here, Tower, with his ace high. Rob just eking some value with his third pair.
6-4 has it. Rob gets the check mark. Heads up in the 6 max. One of 3 events today. And then tomorrow we start the grand final. The anticipated £750,000 prize pool. Could be bigger. I don't think it'd be less.
Well, I don't think it'll be less, Tower. Go back and forth the chips here.
So just the blinds are just up, 22.5, 5. Now 57 bigs and 52 bigs. Very at levels your devils, these two. Quickly as the cards are coming out. They're the 25-25s for next following weekend after the grand final. Newcastle, Walsall, Leeds, Berry-New Road playing together, and then Luton December the 16th to the 19th.
Oh, I've got a little bit of information for
you. Oh, here we go.
I heard no, you'll like this one. I heard you're playing Walsall.
Yes.
Because we're not going to go away until the weekend after, I might be coming to Walsall.
Oh, yeah.
I might be coming to play Walsall.
Yeah.
Get on the same table as Tower. That'll be fun.
Added value.
Lots of it. Lots of it.
Nice one.
How are you doing, Sam? Good evening.
All good, hey, Sam. We are all good, thank you very much, you man. We are good.